Morrison has revitalized South Carolina football. His weapon, sophomore phenom Todd Ellis, and a sterling wingback named Sharp. The offense explodes, but the defense devastates and destroys, leaving black death in its wake. Today, 9th-ranked South Carolina against 7th-ranked LSU. The 43rd annual Mazda Gator Bowl Classic here on CBS. More than 80,000 are in the process of entering the Gator Bowl in downtown Jacksonville, Florida, for today's matchup between the Gamecocks of South Carolina and the Fighting Tigers of Louisiana State University. Some 40,000 or so have made their way south in the environs around Columbia, South Carolina. Not quite that many have made their way east from Baton Rouge. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and on behalf of all of us at CBS, a continuation of our happy holiday greetings here on New Year's Eve afternoon. We are in the midst of the bowl season, but most of what you've seen thus far might be called the appetizers. Today, we begin the entrees, and we've got quite one for you this afternoon. Two top 10 teams in South Carolina and Louisiana State University. This is the 43rd Mazda Gator Bowl. The first game was played in 1946, and despite a 2-3-3 record, South Carolina was invited to the game. In his only season as head coach, Johnny McMillan took the Gamecocks to their first bowl game. Dutch Brem's 90-yard interception return for a touchdown is still a Gator Bowl record, but the Gamecocks, despite that effort, wound up losing to Wake Forest 26-14. My partner today is completing the circle. He has coached in the Rose Bowl, coached in the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and now is broadcasting the Gator Bowl. And Dick Vermeil, I think when the two teams, Carolina and LSU, began the season, they probably began with differing aspirations.
No question about that, Vern. LSU was really thinking bowl at the start of the year, and optimistically, they were thinking they had a shot at the national championship. But losing one and tying one, no shot at the national championship, but they've earned the right to be here today.
South Carolina's turnaround, how's it been accomplished?
South Carolina was not really thinking about bowl games. They were thinking about improvement, Vern, and improved they really have. 8-3, and their defense has really improved.
Now, they will come at you with a blitzing, gambling kind of a defense, and they really are blitzing about 90% of the time.
About 80%, and I'm not really exaggerating. They come after you with multiple fronts and multiple blitzes.
Now, what about LSU? What defensively do they do?
Very basic defense. Play the 30 defense, play up square, fundamental technique, butt you, and pursuit of the football, and they don't give up the big play.
There's a brief word about the defenses you'll see today. We've also got some offensive stars to talk about. We'll continue all of that as we get set for the kickoff from the Mazda Gator Bowl in Jacksonville.
CBS Sports presents the 43rd Mazda Gator Bowl Classic, sponsored by Mazda, bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. 3M, worldwide sponsor of the 1988 Olympic Games. 3M supporting the dream. And by Kemper and the independent insurance agents who represent us. Once you compare Kemper, you'll ride with us.
Time is beginning to peek through the overcast skies here on New Year's Eve afternoon as 80,000 gather for today's meeting between South Carolina and Louisiana State University. South Carolina is the visiting team today, and here come the Gamecocks, 8-3 in 1987. The only losses came to Georgia, Nebraska, and Miami. Head coach now in his 5th season with a brand new contract stashed in his pocket, Joe Morrison. And the Tigers of LSU, 9-1-1. They tied Ohio State. Their loss was to Alabama. And the youngest head coach in Division I football, Mike Archer, in his first year at LSU at the age of 34 with a 9-1-1 record. You'll enjoy watching the offenses of both LSU and South Carolina, but I think particularly South Carolina. It's called the run and shoot. Todd Ellis explains.
What the run and shoot is basically an offense that tries to spread out the defense and gets their own skill people in one-on-one situations. It's basically like taking a wing back, which we call is a real skilled person who can run the ball and catch passes, and get him in a one-on-one situation. So what we try to do is use the field and use a lot of motion to spread the defense out, and then basically throw a long sweep to a guy or change things up.
As Todd Ellis just said, we have 4 immediate receivers and 1 back in the backfield. Now, Todd himself will throw the ball from 4 different positions: a short roll and throw onside and then back, or a full roll and not with any intent to run. Throw to his left, set up, throw onside or back, or he'll come all the way out on the full run. They like to run Sterling Sharp, number 2, across in motion, get 4 receivers downfield. This is what it looked like against Miami just a couple weeks ago. Crossing pattern, catches the ball, you'll note the mobility, good speed, puts it in the end zone for the touchdown. Look for that today.
And offensive standouts for South Carolina. Their counterparts for LSU occupy the same positions. Sophomore quarterback Tom Hudson and All-American split end Wendell Davis. But they will run a multiplicity of formations offensively, Dick.
Well, Vern, they basically keep 2 backs in the backfield for the most part. I formation, pro backs, split backs, and they take those backfield sets and slot the formation to the wide side of the field. I expect to see a lot of that today, and I also expect to see some change-up formations to sort of shake up that blitzing defense.
We have been joined out on the sidelines by colleague James Brown, who had a chance to visit both locker rooms within the last 15 minutes. JB?
All right, Vernon, you and Dick both emphasize that these are contrasting styles in teams, and they're both very contrasting in terms of their locker room preparation. South Carolina had virtually every player in a trance-like state. Everyone was very focused, keeping in mind the task at hand today. The only player who was lighthearted in the locker room was their wide back All-American Sterling Sharp, but all of his comments ended with the word winning. LSU, on the other hand, very lighthearted, very easygoing demeanor. As a matter of fact, indicative of that was their wide receiver, who asked me to make certain that the announcers pronounce his name right, and it's Roger McGee, not Roger McGee. I got to believe that comes from their head coach, 34-year-old Mike Archer, coaching his first ever bowl game. And Vern, I'm wondering if Dick Vermeil, at the tender age of 37, was as confident in his first bowl game.
I have a feeling, JB, that he was.
I was.
Perfect day, 68 degrees, 51% humidity, partly cloudy skies, and a 10% chance of rain. This is the 13th time the 2 teams have met. The only South Carolina victory 57 years ago in 1930. Here is the kick by LSU. Sterling Sharp will return it, and the All-American is out past the 25 and down at the 30-yard line. Louisiana State won the toss, but they elected to defer to the second half when they will have the option. So South Carolina then elected to return. Let's take a look at the offense. Sophomore quarterback Todd Ellis.
Little interception problem this year, Vern.
Kevin White and Sterling Sharp at the wingback spots. And the outside receivers are Danny Smith and Ryan Bethea. First down and 10 after the 21-yard return. Ball just across the 30. There's the motion you will see most of the afternoon. That's Sterling Sharp. And Ellis on the full row, just as Dick Vermeil diagrammed it for you. Out of bounds to Kevin White, the senior out of Charlotte. That's his 40th catch of the year. Harold Green is the tailback in the 1-back offense.
If he were in a 2-back attack, he might be up to about 1,600 yards rather than 900 and something.
Randy Harwell gets the start at center. And Paul Shivers and Calvin Stevens are the guards. The tackles, David Poinsett and Mark Fry. No tight end to this offense. And that's White in motion to the left side. The form trips. And again the roll, full roll to the left. Ellis in trouble. The 16-yard line. Tommy Clapp, a senior out of Gretna, Louisiana, finally caught up with him.
Coming from the right side of your screen, you know Clint James, number 70, the defensive tackle, working outside the quarterback role. It's his responsibility to contain him. He does a nice job. Gets in his face right there. Now he turns Ellis back around, and Ellis is not the best runner in the world, having lost 129 yards running this year. Good job of defense, good discipline, good technique.
Tommy Clapp gets the first sack, a loss of 21 yards. It's 3rd and 25. And the sophomore Todd Ellis. Deep left side, double coverage, incomplete pass. Greg Jackson going over to help. The pass intended for Danny Smith. Kevin Gidney was the closest man to him. So after the big defensive play by Tommy Clapp, South Carolina will be forced to punt. And Jimmy Young is on to return it.
That's a low punt, Vern. He can feel that when he had the chance to return it.
Jimmy Young inside the 40-yard line, down to the 39. 34-yard punt for Rodney Price, 11 on the return. Sophomore Tom Hodson, the quarterback for the Tigers.
I like him. He throws 2 touchdowns for every interception he throws. That's production. Can't do it much better than that.
Wendell Davis, the All-American. Raji McGee. In the backfield, Sam Martin starts for Harvey Williams, and Victor Jones, the fullback. Harvey Williams out with a knee injury sustained in the last regular season game against Tulane. 1st and 10 from the 40. Hodson in the quick flip, low, incomplete, lateral, incomplete pass. Sam Martin was the intended receiver. The All-American at center, Nacho Albergamo, hobbled a little bit.
He's all everything. All-American football, all academic. He's got it all going for him.
Got a calf muscle that's been bothering him, so we'll see how far he can go today. Ruffin Rodriguez and Eric Andelsek at the guards.
Eric's a 2-time captain of a college football team. That's tough to do.
And the tackles Jim Hubix and Robert Packnett. Tight end is Brian Kinchin, who missed 3 games with an injury. 2nd and 10.
Coming after him.
Wendell Davis, look at the moves. Touchdown, LSU.
You'll note that there's 8 people up here playing defense, leaving only 3 people in the secondary man-to-man. Quarterback reads the blitz coming. Everybody coming after him. He dumps it off out into the slot to the left.
Extra point by David Browndyke is good. 39-yard touchdown, Wendell Davis.
Taking another look again. 8 people up there, 3 people playing pass defense. He reads it nicely. Short drop, gets it out on the short break to the outside, gives him a juke step, makes a miss, gets up there, gets a block downfield, another juke step. You can see why this guy was a consensus All-American. Wendell Davis scores his touchdown.
The 11-yard punt return sets up a 39-yard touchdown toss.
Focus your attention on the quarterback, Tommy Hodson, the middle of your screen, as he points out a possible rusher that they do not have a blocker to pick up. If he comes, they're going to hot receiver off him. They did that. They executed properly. Got the one-on-one situation. There's the first man's missing. Second miss. He gets a block downfield. Tony Moss, number 6, puts him in the end zone.
It didn't take long. 40 yards, 39 officially, 15 seconds. And Wendell Davis gets his 8th touchdown reception of the year, and for Tommy Hodson, his 16th TD pass. Ron Lewis, freshman from New Orleans, kicks off. Kevin Jones and Sterling Sharp are deep. This is Sterling Sharp.
Oh, did you see Jay Egloff, number 36? Holy mackerel, what a special teamer.
Sharp is out to the 22 as he gets by Egloff.
That is enthusiasm. He hurdled a potential blocker.
Take a look at the Tiger defensive formation. Darrell Phillips will open at the nose tackle spot.
He's a converted linebacker.
He will be flanked by Tommy Clapp, who had that 21-yard sack, and Clint James, number 70. Juan Sancho and Eric Hill are the outside linebackers. Darren Marlborough and Mickey Hazard are the inside two. 1st and 10, South Carolina. They trail by 7. Pat Ellis back to throw. Across the middle, Harold Green, the running back, shakes the tackle. 1st down, Gamecocks at the 35.
What this formation does, Vern, is it stretches everybody, the defense out around the field. Now, focus your attention on the running back in the middle of the screen. 22, he's sitting there now. He's going to let the linebacker see them drop out. Now, LSU's game plan is to not drop as deep as they normally do because of this kind of a passing attack. And this guy is an exceptionally fine runner.
That's the first down for South Carolina. Harold Green, sophomore out of Lansing, South Carolina, with a catch. And Sharp in motion again. They'll hand it off to Green. Nice move at the line of scrimmage. And he plunges out to the 40-yard line.
What they do, Vern, is they get you thinking pass rush, containing the quarterback. You widen your defensive tackles, get him outside, and it opens it up inside a little bit. And they also run an option that gives you a problem.
Let's continue with that LSU defensive 11. At the corners, James Pearson starts for an injured Willie Bryant and Kevin Guidry, number 27. And the safeties are two good ones. Greg Jackson and Chris Carrier.
Chris Carrier is a 6'4" safety at 210 pounds.
Second down, the quick get goes to Green. He's out for a first down at the 45. Tackle made by Eric Hill. You really do like what you've seen of Harold Green on film.
Well, he has 950 yards running, but he's a better running back than that. He has a 4.4 average. If he had another back in the backfield, see, they don't even have a tight end in position to block the outside linebacker. They want to spread the defense, loosen it up that way, and just give him those inside runs. And he does an exceptionally fine job.
And watch him inside the 5. He's got 14 touchdowns this year. This is Sterling Sharp in motion again. Ellis back to throw, has time and goes deep, overthrows Sterling Sharp at the 40-yard line.
The game plan, Vern, as they put men in motion and the receivers work upfield, they're going to try to jam these people and not let them off the line of scrimmage cleanly. Now watch right here, the defender goes up and gives him a little tap right there. That's just enough. Jackson did a nice job, just enough to throw him off course and break the timing of the pattern. You're going to see that all day. That's the game plan.
That'll be a second down and 10 as Sharp, the senior, he has already graduated and is working on his second degree at South Carolina. Comes in motion to the right. Ellis in trouble. Down at the 41. Second sack. And this one goes to the credit of Carl Dunbar, number 63. Pressure from Eric Hill, the outside backer.
Eric Hill was very active in the game against Miami. He made play after play after play in studying those tapes.
There's Eric Hill, junior out of Galveston, Texas.
He's had a very productive year. Talking to Coach Pete Jenkins, the defensive coordinator, the defensive line coach as well, and he said this guy has had a very productive year.
Both of their outside backers, he and Ron Sancho, have had good years.
When you win as many games as they've won, you've got to have good outside play.
Third down. Ellis hit as he lets it go. Intercepted.
That's a touchdown.
Been his problem all year, and that will be 6.
Maybe not, Vern.
No! Sterling Sharp. I followed your lead. Greg Jackson gets the interception.
I led you in the wrong direction.
It is, however, a 48-yard return.
Todd Ellis is under tremendous pressure here. Actually should not have tried to lay the ball up late down the middle under this pressure. See him drop, now pivot, he turns back. There's the pressure right there. Ron Sancho, 52, gets him right up underneath the chin, and that's smart. Now here comes the ball, throwing poorly down the hole late. Greg Jackson picks it off, and off he goes. And if it weren't for the speed of a Sterling Sharp, he'd have put it in the end zone.
48-yard return for Jackson. Hodgson changes the play at the line of scrimmage. They go to split backs.
That's right.
Hot receiver left side, thrown away, and there is a flag.
Vern, they have 6 basic runs in the offensive game plan, and he is going to audible to each run on the line of scrimmage.
Why so?
Because of the multiple fronts.
Okay.
That South Carolina is running. They don't want to run into the loaded side of the defense. So they'll go. They're actually saying in the huddle.
Foul, illegal procedure, offense, first down.
He actually goes into the huddle and says, run, check with me on the line of scrimmage. Then he calls it on the line of scrimmage. Taking a look, you'll see right here, Hodgson calling right. Now he's calling left. Formation change. He's the general out there.
Tony Moss, number 6, has come in as a third wide receiver now. On 1st and 15. 7-0 LSU leads, 10:53 to go, first quarter. Watson in the flat. Moss, the intended receiver, and he can't hang on. Norman Floyd, number 29, defensively in the area.
Rushing the linebackers, and from time to time including a safety as well, you know, that's sound as long as you get the good pressure on the quarterback. If you don't get the good pressure and he gets that ball off down to the one-on-one coverage, one missed tackle, you're in trouble.
Well, and you leave those cornerbacks out there on an island.
Yes, they're on the island, but I'll tell you, they've done a real good job of it this year. They've done an excellent job.
Mike Archer on the sideline. Graduated from University of Miami. He was an assistant there for a number of years, and then joined Bill Arnsparger as an assistant at LSU before taking over as head coach. Second down and 15. Hodgson left side. Wendell Davis to the 12. They got the 5 back. It'll be 3rd and 9 or 10, depending on the spot. Robert Robinson with the tackle.
This is one of those change-up formations. Sammy Martin, the running back, was out at a split end right here. The tight end was in a blocking position, bigger people. Here's Wendell Davis getting the out pattern. They're keeping people, 7 people in this situation to get everybody picked up. That is the dog being picked up, fundamentally sound.
3rd and 10, 7-0. LSU leads it. There's the check with me. How about this? Left side, Wendell Davis, touchdown. That's 2. Robert Robinson was the defender, number 36, the cornerback.
How would you like to be Robbie Robinson today? They're flopping him in the entire game on number 82, Wendell Davis. Tough to cover this guy.
On 3rd and 10, Davis gets his 2nd touchdown toss in the first 5 minutes of the game. David Brown got it.
Did you see him kick that? They put his foot on the wrong side of his body. It's over on the left side.
Learned that in Dallas.
You'll note here they audibled and loaded up blockers on the left side of the formation because that's where the defense is loaded up. They move blockers in position to pick them up to go ahead and get one-on-one situation and be able to get the ball off. See them all loaded up. Now they've got him picked up. No one getting to the quarterback. There he goes, going to the corner. Boy, it's tough to cover that guy like that all by yourself if you don't get your hand in that quarterback's face.
Just like that, with 9:59 remaining in the first quarter, LSU's on top by 14. That's 80,000 you see down below the MetLife blimp are in shock right now. They came down from South Carolina, and their team trails by 14. Joe Morrison must be wondering what in the world happened.
I'm sure he can't believe it because this hasn't happened to him. You know, they've only given up, you know, what, 11-something a game?
10.1
points a game.
And only 2 teams all year have scored 2 touchdowns or more against South Carolina. Those 2 pretty fair outfits, Nebraska and Miami. Kevin Jones. That last scoring drive took 58 seconds. The first one took 15. 3 plays this time instead of 2. And a 12-yard touchdown toss after the Greg Jackson 48-yard interception return. Dick and I talked about this defensive 11 that has averaged giving up only 10.1 points per game. They're 2nd in scoring defense, 3rd in total defense, 5th in rushing defense, and tied for 6th in pass defense. All of which means they're trailing by 14. Green breaks a tackle, breaks another, and has a first down at the 31-yard line. Harold Green.
They do a lot of option blocking here. They'll block, and the quarterback reads this all the way if it is part of the option series. Now, this is just basic dive here. All man blocking. Good running right there. See him get the pads down. He's bouncing off people, ricocheting. Good ability to cut. Gets that first down.
14 zip with 9:38 to go. First quarter. There's Green again across the middle.
Vern, the one advantage they have at South Carolina with the run and shoot offense is they don't have to panic. Their offense is a designed high-scoring type offense. They're used to scoring. They don't want to be down 14-0. But it's not like one of the wishbones and finding yourself out of the game, you know, 14-0 in the first quarter. They have the tools to come back quickly.
This is the second time, or second year rather, that South Carolina has utilized the run and shoot. And And one of the reasons they're using it is Todd Ellis. That man played it in high school in Greensboro, North Carolina. 2nd and 7. Harold Green for about 3. And the nose man, Darrell Phillips, number 62, pops in.
Vern, the fans will notice in the run and shoot offense, Sterling Sharp, number 2, coming in motion a lot. As he crosses the formation, he watches the defense. And he has code words he calls to the 2 receivers in front of him that are already out on that side of the formation, telling them what he thinks the coverage is going to be and get ready to adjust their routes accordingly. Very clever.
See what Sterling Sharp, where he is now on 3rd down and 3. Stays on the left side. Ellis back, goes left, and hits Danny Smith, the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, for the 1st down. Kevin Guidry with the tackle. We're on hand at the 43rd Mazda Gator Bowl Classic in Jacksonville, Florida. The first time that Louisiana State has played in this bowl. It's the 4th time for South Carolina. Vern Lundquist and Dick Vermeil.
Boy, this booth is high.
Yeah, not quite that bad. LSU over South Carolina 14-0. 2 touchdown passes. Tom Hudson to Wendell Davis. 1st down and 10. From the 47-yard line. There's that full roll from Ellis. Kevin White, face mask. Didn't throw the flag. Joe Morrison wants one.
It looked like a face mask to me, but evidently an official not in position to call it, or it wasn't. You'll see in the bottom of the screen, Kevin White, number 6, has the ball tucked under, heading to the sideline. There, Greg Jackson reaches across. I don't see how you can miss that one.
Sure looked like it. That is not enough for the 1st down. It'll be 2nd and less than a yard. 14-0. As Louisiana State went 39 yards in 2 plays the 1st time, and then a 48-yard pass interception set up the 2nd touchdown toss. That's a 1st down plunge. George Henriquez makes the tackle on Harold Green. First touchdown came from Hudson Davis on a 2nd down and 10, 39-yard to the left side. And then on 3rd and 10 from the 12, Wendell Davis caught his 2nd win of the 1st quarter. Not highly recruited as a high school senior.
Came down between Grambling and LSU, and there he goes. You know, it's hard to, it's easy to miss when a wide receiver in high school because he may not have a quarterback that can throw the ball.
1:13 the total time of possession for LSU. 1st and 10 now, South Carolina. And Ellis. Good block from Green on Eric Hill. And the pass is caught at the 31. Jones Andrew made the catch, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina. That's his 7th of the season.
You notice they normally run the man in motion toward the wide side of the field because with the college hash marks being spread like they are, they have a lot more field to attack. And when you roll a quarterback out, Vern, you restrict the area he can throw the ball to because, you're moving and it's all out in front of you. By going to the wide field, it gives him a little advantage.
And again, a 2nd down, less than a yard now for South Carolina. 7:05 to go, 1st quarter. Green, that'll be enough to move the chain as Darrell Phillips, the nose tackle, and Eric Hill collaborate for the tackle. The run and shoot, as we said, utilized now for the 2nd year by South Carolina. It all started from a high school coach, Tiger Ellison, in Middletown, Ohio, back in the 50s. And then Mouse Davis picked it up at Portland State, had Neil Lomax out there. Archie Cooley had a guy named Jerry Rice along with Willie Totten at Mississippi Valley State. And the USFL, Jack Pardee, used it with the Houston Gamblers, and Jim Kelly was his quarterback. And Joe Morrison installed it last year. On the 1st down play, Harold Green. Good running effort inside the 20 to the 19. The tackle made by Carl Dunbar. They call it the run and shoot. I think there's so much emphasis, though, Dick, on the passing game, you tend to forget that it does allow one to run well.
They spread them out inside. They came into this ball game having run 53% of the year and passed 47%, so they still run the football. But today they're going to have to, throw just maybe a little higher percentage because they find themselves down 14-zip.
First threat by South Carolina. There's the dive play off the option. And Todd Ellis gives it again to Harold Green. The tackle again made by Carl Dunbar. They're down near the 15-yard line.
I asked Todd Ellis if he reads that option play, and he said he reads it all the way. If he doesn't like what he sees, he takes the ball out, goes down the line of scrimmage, and pitches it to the trailback, normally the motion man coming in behind him, because they only have one back in the backfield. That's the guy diving in there.
Second down and 6. 5:50 to go first quarter. 14-0. Louisiana State on top. There's the pitch. Wingback Sterling Sharp caught for a loss. Chris Carrier, the safety, number 11, who was a high school basketball star and at one point filled in for the varsity at LSU in a basketball game.
This is Carrier right back here playing man-to-man now down inside the 20. He comes across instead of a receiver as a pinch man now, as a pitchback, and you'll find Carrier, number 11, tracking him down. See him? He's now playing like a linebacker. That's his man if he goes out for a pass. That's his man right now if he's going to go ahead and run the pitch. And here he is making a tackle. Good defense.
3rd and 9. Here comes the blitz. Ellis intercepted. Timing pattern was all messed up. And James Pearson is in a foot race with Harold Green. His first interception of the year, the second of the ball game, and LSU has now returned 2 picks, as they call them, for 128 yards, but as you see, there is a flag.
You can see Todd not having a real good day, came into the game, your quarterback right in the middle of the screen, having thrown twice as many interceptions as touchdown passes, and here he's throwing another one. James Pearson, number 25, it looks like he's going to make it all the way. Again, another gifted athlete in the offense, 22. Harold Green with that good spring brings him down. And you know something? James Pearson wasn't even eligible at the end of the last school year. He had to pay his own way to summer school to become eligible so he could play this year.
However, that 60-yard interception is going to be wiped out.
On the run back, illegal block below the waist on the white team. First down, 10.
But the 1st and 10 comes at the 13-yard line instead of the 35. It really looked like Sharp was making a beeline for the end zone, and Ellis just threw it a little early.
It looked like he expected to maybe go to the slant or the post like that. There was definitely a breakdown somewhere, either in the quarterback's part or a combination of the two.
So the second pass interception, and the sun shines on Louisiana State. They lead it 14-0. Fullback up the middle. Victor Jones, number 34, the sophomore from Zachary, Louisiana. Nacho Albergamo has made every All-American team this year. Watch him against Roy Hart, the nose tackle.
Roy Hart, number 54. Now he gets a real nice block on him, gets a pin, gets him turned back away from the hole. Excellent block. And 54, Roy Hart is an excellent football player. The offensive line coach from LSU told me, he says, you know, when a defender plays on that center, our center, all he gets really is a view of the game. He doesn't get to make many plays.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4, 14-0 LSU. Here comes the blitz again.
Oh, not tackled.
Eddie Fuller, the sophomore, number 33, going left, or right rather.
Eddie Fuller's the back that made the 20-yard touchdown run with 52 seconds to go in the 4th quarter against Miami.
There's Joe Lee Dunn. Was an assistant to Joe Morrison at New Mexico, then took over as head coach there, and then came in last year.
He's the fellow that installed the multiple front defense and the blitzing package. And you notice he doesn't wear a headset. We'll talk about that later.
3rd and 4. Across the middle. Oh, could be intercepted. It is. That's 9 interceptions this season for Brad Edwards. 9.
And actually, it wasn't his fault. The ball was caught. Good defense. Straight drop back pass. They're coming after you. A little delay back inside. Wendell Davis gets it down and gets it tucked nicely. But the helmet goes right through the ball and pops it out. You can see what I'm talking about. People coming after him. Inside linebackers right here. Matt McCurran, 48, getting up in there. They always try to pressure you.
It's a matter of terminology, but officially that is a pass reception and a fumble and not an interception.
That's the way I would record it.
And that's the way it was. First down, South Carolina at the 33. Play fake, Ellis. Incomplete. Thrown high to Sterling Sharp at the 10-yard line.
You know, with the interception factor and the problem that Todd has had this year, that could come from two reasons, Vern. One, the run and shoot is not strange to defenses this year. They saw it last year, South Carolina running it last year. And two, is Ellis had such a great year last year, you can almost develop too much confidence in your ability to throw the ball between people.
5 of 10 so far, but those 2 interceptions have harmed South Carolina. Second down and 10. Sharp in motion. Sterling Sharp. That catch down to the 27-yard line. These are 2 of the better sophomores in the country. Take a look at the comparative stats for the year. 55% for Ellis, completion 61% for Hodson. 2,900 yards for Ellis, but the key figure really is the bottom line. 20 pass interceptions for Ellis, only 9 for Hodson.
I really think the 20 interception thing, you know, when you roll out like you do, you have a limited area to throw the ball in, and the defense is flowing with you, and they can dissect that thing a little bit easier.
3rd and 6 right now, 14-0 LSU lead. That pass again overthrown for Sterling Sharp. And it'll be 4th down. That will bring on the field goal unit. And Colin Mackey, freshman, 23 field goals, is tied with Derek Schmidt out of Florida State.
44-yard attempt. He's 6 for 9 from that distance. 23 on 30 for the year. Ooh, that almost got blocked.
And it somehow limped through. 44-yard field goal. The 24th of 1987 for the freshman. And South Carolina's on the board. Degrees on New Year's afternoon will help attract a crowd. Not that we needed the weather, but we've got a great crowd gathering under the shot you see from the MetLife blimp. And in command of the MetLife blimp today is Captain Mike Farmer from nearby Orlando, Florida. First, the kickoff now by Eric Markle of South Carolina. 14-3 after Mackey's field goal. Markle is the kickoff specialist out of Russellville, Arkansas. Deep men are Sam Martin and Alvin Lee. 14-3. Short. Well, our bowl season continues tomorrow as Notre Dame and Texas A&M have at each other in the 52nd annual Cotton Bowl Classic tomorrow from Dallas at 1:30 Eastern Time on New Year's Day. Aggies are in the game for the 3rd time in succession after Jackie Sherrill, and Tim Brown makes a visit to his hometown of Dallas as the Heisman Trophy winner from Notre Dame. That's coming up tomorrow on CBS. Mike, the Tiger, 1st and 10, LSU, 14-3. Comes that gambling defense. It goes up the middle.
Vern, their change-up defense is when they don't do anything with it. They just line up and play it, and that's exactly what they did that time. I wonder if it would confuse the quarterback to come up there and not have to call some sophisticated audible because they lined up like they expected him to, you know, or different than they expected him to.
Watch Roy Hart, the nose tackle, and the double team that's applied on him. That's Todd Cootie, who's replaced Albergamo at center.
See, they're running trap blocking there, and so they're going to double away from the point of attack. And boy, when you get 2 big offensive linemen on one, that's tough on the nose guys.
Mickey Harris with that last carry, 2nd down and 5. Oops, flag is down, and the ball carrier slips.
I think Roy Hart actually moved and butted helmets with the center prior to the snap. Roy Hart is the nose guard. lined up right on the ball.
Yep.
Taking a look from the end zone. Focus your attention in the middle of your screen, right in front of the quarterback. You'll see him move just a little. Seeing that? They're going to go into their stunt. When you're a stunning and blitzing and dogging type defense, you're always trying to get the jump on that snap count. Now, the down lineman can watch the ball. They should never move, especially when it's a dog or a blitz call. You should concentrate on that ball. I don't know why they went offside there. Probably listening to the quarterback's cadence.
Here's Robert Wood.
All sides on the defense. Second down and about a...
Second and about an inch, you heard Robert Wood say. All of our officiating crew today out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Wood, Bill Wampler, Richard Tyndall, Carl Herakovich, Bill Looper, Doug Foley, Bill Rustin, and Robert Cooper. That's our bunch. There's Mike Archer.
Can you believe he was born and raised in Penn State?
State College.
Penn State College up there. State College, Pennsylvania, rather.
And chose not to go to school at Penn State. Instead went south to Miami.
I talked to him about that. Maybe we'll get a chance to relay the little story as the game goes on.
Second and officially one. Under the 2-minute mark, first quarter. Get to the fullback. That'll be a 1st and 10. Mickey Harris, a senior out of Covington, Louisiana. That's his second carry of the ball game, and he came in with only 14 yards for the season. Harvey Williams, who is a terrific runner, a sophomore out of Hempstead, Texas, injured his knee in the last game of the year against Tulane, having already picked up 181 yards. Williams is with the team. He's on the sidelines in civilian clothes.
I saw him 3 weeks after the operation was yesterday. No cast on his leg. He had a cruciate operation, no cast, walking with almost without a limp.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
And he said he's running a little bit now. 1st and 10, LSU. Hodson back to throw. Overthrows everybody.
They made a mistake there.
That was intended for Wendell Davis.
Pass intended for Davis.
Wendell Davis to the top right side of your screen, coming off. It looks like he had that little out-and-go type move to be run there, and it broke down with the quarterback, not with his execution. You notice the defensive back slip and fell?
Here comes Davis. Dick asked him yesterday, what do you want to play in the Pro Bowl? In Pro Bowl. Dallas, he said. Hodson back, left side, overthrown, mix up on the route. A little pressure applied. It was intended for Davis. Tommy Hodson was an all-state basketball player in high school, averaged 27 points per game as a senior, and thought for a while he might pursue his athletic career as a basketball player.
And I had the opportunity to visit with him, and I asked him about his concerns about all these blitzes. He says, we're prepared for everything they do. I'm a little concerned about what they might do new that I haven't seen before.
50% for the day. 2 touchdown crosses, both to Wendell Davis. 3rd and 10. Caught Sam Martin, senior from New Orleans, who is replacing Harvey Williams. Actually, Sam Martin has been a part-time starter this year. Let's go down for an injury report on the All-American center, Nacho Albergamo. Here is James Brown.
Hey, Vern, as you well know, Albergamo last season, he took a kick in that calf a few series ago. It is sore, but he says he will be back into play. Vern?
Hope so, James, because it'd be fun to watch him. He's a 3.46 grade point average, pre-med in zoology. His mother and dad immigrated from Sicily in the early 60s. His full name is Ignacio Albergamo. Here's Hodson on 1st down. Right side. Caught again. Sam Martin. On the sidelines, Nacho Albergamo.
Right now, he has a 3.4 in zoology. He's going to be a doctor. Can you imagine 10 years down the road, he wants to practice medicine in Baton Rouge, and someone comes in and says, you know, Doc, you're doing a great job, but I really liked you as an offensive center.
They'll say it. 1st and 10, 14-3, LSU. 62 seconds to go in the first quarter from the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, the Mazda Gator Bowl on CBS.
Audible on the line of scrimmage.
Test the middle again. Mickey Harris, his 3rd carry of the ball game. He gets it to the 20-yard line. LSU has won 9 this year. They're trying to win 10 for the first time since 1961.
And Paul Diesel was the coach there.
And of course, the national championship team back in '58. Matter of fact, Brian Kinchin, the tight end, his dad is here. He was a member of that national championship team.
Gus Kitchen, he was an end.
Right. With Billy Cannon. 2nd and 7, 26 seconds to go. First quarter. Hodson, Davis, overthrown.
You know, Vern, if a team had an advantage in coming in the ball game with the extra preparation time, the advantage would have to go to LSU because they had so much stuff to get prepared for. LSU's offense against South Carolina's defensive scheme, that extra time allowed them to be able to really gain an understanding of what they were doing on defense. And if you had just 3 or 4 days like the normal season, that's a real advantage for South Carolina. It's sort of nullified here today.
3rd and 7.
They're loading up. Here they come.
Hodson. Oh. Davis. 1st and goal at the 9. Wendell Davis. Looked like kind of the same play they got their 2nd touchdown on.
You can see him now sliding over. He's audibling. The rush is going to come from the offensive left. See the people now getting in position to pick up the 4-man rush. They still get outnumbered. See the man coming around the outside, but he gets the ball off quickly. 2 receivers in the same area. Normally there's a breakdown when that happens.
Wendell Davis with 5 catches for 81 yards, 2 gone for touchdowns at the end of the quarter. With our score 14-3, CBS Sports coverage will continue after this message and a word from your local station. From the MetLife blimp high above the Gator Bowl, you see the crowd of 82,000 plus on hand for this meeting between South Carolina and the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Vern Lundquist along with Dick Vermeil and James Brown as LSU threatens again to expand what is now a 14-3 lead. 1st and goal from the 9. Wendell Davis has caught 5 already. Slow up in the backfield.
That's what that stunning and blitzing defense is designed to do. 81 Robert Gibson just went firing through there and no one picked him up and he created havoc. Darnier caused a fumble.
There have been some changes defensively for South Carolina. Let's bring you up to date as Frazier is one of the subs in. On the front line, Kurt Wilson and Derek Frazier have come in at the ends. Kevin Hendricks is in the lineup as well. The rest of the starting lineup remains the same. This drive, 10 plays already.
Good defense. Away. Good defense. Robbie Robinson. Robbie Robinson is their best man-to-man coverage man, number 36. Did an awfully nice job of coming up and buying. You'll note the quarterback now, man in motion to the left of your screen. He's coming out on the rollout. Throws straight downfield. Now it looks like it's going to be a completed pass. He comes in, reaches around with that left hand and bats the ball around. Good pass defense.
Robinson, a junior from Shelby, North Carolina, one of many with a lot of interceptions in that backfield. He's picked off 4 this year. As a team, South Carolina has intercepted 23.
Audible. See, they're calling protection now. They're loading up.
Right, here they come. Hodson back. Oh, almost picked off. Dropped at the 10-yard line by Matt McKernan, junior from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Matt McKernan. No, he has 1 interception this year and almost ended up with his 2nd. Good pressure. I feel that the defense is starting to get into the rhythm of the LSU offense and starting to, hit those gaps a little better with their stunts and slants and their linebacker dogs.
Now David Browndyke, a sophomore from Hillcrest High School in Dallas. Left-footed kicker, 14 of 20 for the year.
7 for 7 on the year from this distance.
That's good. From 27 yards out. And once again, it's a 14-point LSU lead. 17-3. Live from the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. The Mazda Gator Bowl Classic with LSU on top again by 14 after the Browndyke field goal. 17-3. 2 touchdown tosses the difference now. Tom Hodson to Wendell Davis, and LSU getting set to kick off. will kick it. That one goes left. Taken by Kevin Jones. Got some room. Tackled at the 26. Well, we mentioned the national championship LSU team. Remember the Chinese Bandits? That was the third team in that year of single platoon football. Billy Cannon won the Heisman Trophy the next year with probably the most famous run back of a punt in history. And one of the team members is down with James Brown right now. James?
All right, Vernon, I'm standing here with Mr. Gus Kinchin, who played defensive end on that team, a group that was called the Chinese Bandits. And why such a name as Chinese Bandits?
It was a wild thing that Coach Diesel came up with out of the funny papers. They're in the Pirates.
Are you pleased with the defense today?
Very pleased, very pleased. We're doing well against them, shutting Ellis down, and I think we're going to win it.
All right, Vernon. One of the reasons he's got to be pleased watching the game today is he has two sons on this LSU team, Bryant and Todd Kitchen, so he watches the game with a lot of affection.
Right, a lot of affection, Very proud of him.
All right, Vern, back to you.
Tell you what, Gus looks great for a guy who played in 1958, doesn't he?
Ask him if he wants to line up and play a little today.
I think he could. That last pass was complete to Ryan Bethea, 15 yards and a first down for South Carolina. Todd Ellis out of Greensboro, North Carolina. First and 10, South Carolina at the 42, 41. Quick flip, left side. Sterling Sharp. There's a young man named Jamie Herring from Dillon, South Carolina, who's awaiting a heart transplant at Johns Hopkins Medical Center. He spoke with Sterling Sharp this morning by phone, and Sterling Sharp promised to catch a pass for him.
Well, here's the first zone pass right down the slot. No one covering him. They went zone, man in motion, stretched the defense. Quarterback got it right in there nicely. First down.
That's a first down across midfield at the 44-yard line. 13-15 to go in the half. Up the middle, Harold Green gets the carry and runs into the arms of Clint James, number 70. Let's go back to the previous play and watch Sterling Sharp.
Focus your attention to the right side of the screen. Sharp, the standing wide receiver. See the linebacker moving out, leaving the zone right there with the man in motion. That had opened it up. Vern, excuse me. Oh.
That's okay. It's your turn. It happened to me earlier.
Oh.
Second down and 8. 12:44 to go in the half. 17-3. LSU on top. Ellis, little quick flip to Green. Knocked down at the 37-yard line. And after a one-play rest, Sterling Sharp back in the offensive huddle. He is an all-purpose back from that wing-back position. Has touched the ball 280 times and averaged 13.7 every time he's touched the ball.
He is a weapon. I asked him where he wanted to end up in pro football. He said, I want to end up where they put it up, starting with the 49ers, he said.
Well, he mentioned Tampa Bay as well, and also mentioned Buffalo.
Jim Kelly, run and shoot.
Exactly. I'm sure some folks are listening. 3rd and 4.
Man-to-man coverage.
That may be a delay of game. Flag is down. Yep.
Too much time. You can tell when they're going to a man-to-man coverage when they run a man in motion across the formation and a defender follows him.
Delay of game. The offense. 3rd down.
If a defender runs with him across the field, they're in a form of man-to-man coverage.
And that's really one of the reasons for motion, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
To get the defense to declare.
Well, they'd like to dictate a few coverages as well. My LSU is not a big man-to-man team. They would rather play the zones.
3rd and 9 now. And Sharp is in motion. See the Tigers adjust into the zone. Here's Ellis back to throw across the middle. Caught. First down. Nice pass.
Under pressure.
Catch is made by the senior Danny Smith, number 41 out of Atlanta. An 18-yard pickup.
Todd Ellis here throws this one nicely under pressure. Now he's made a couple mistakes under pressure. You'll see the heat come right up inside, gets him right in the face there, but he still gets it down in the zone over the top of the linebacker, right in the hole where it had to be. See, that still is a high-risk throw. That's a little bit low. The linebacker, in this case, it would have been Nicky Hazard picking it off.
Kevin Goodley did make the tackle, but a gain of 18 and a first down at the 25. Draw play. Green comes left. Tries to slip a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then is dropped by Darrell Phillips, number 62.
that draw play is a real integral part of the run and shoot offense. You notice how the quarterback started to sprint out, then he slipped it to him. That's to stop that defensive end from just flying out and trying to get into space.
Dick, if this is such a potent offense to run and shoot, why isn't it adapted in the pros?
Well, I think you'll eventually see some of it, but I don't think you can run the ball well enough consistently on the NFL level to be real successful with it. That's just, you know, it's off the top of my head.
2nd and 7, there's the option play to give up the middle to Keith Bing, the junior out of Aiken, South Carolina. Not the 3rd or 4th game of the year. There's a Gamecock.
Yeah, that is the guy.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Being on the carry.
Don't get that and that Tiger too close together. and don't let that leash loose. Third and 1. 17-3 with 10 minutes to go in the half. LSU has the lead. There's the give on a dive play.
Well, it's close. Depends where they spot that. Mentioning Keith Bing, his uncle is the former NBA Detroit Piston David Bing.
Right. Well, and on the other side of the ball, you got Derek Frazier playing his... No, Derek Frazier, his uncle was Walt Frazier.
Right.
Also with South Carolina, so a couple of basketball players with nephews playing for this team. Did he or didn't?
Pretty good basketball players, too.
Oh. Short.
It didn't look good from here.
4th down. Joe Morrison, what do you want to do?
Go for it. Go for it, Joe.
Trailing by 14.
Sure, hey, cheer. Let's say, hey, go for it. You're down 14 already.
Well, he just got an extension of his contract yesterday through 1992. Dr. Jim Holderman, the chancellor, in announcing to the press conference that they had extended Joe Morrison's contract, said, I want you to know at South Carolina we got our priorities straight.
He said, well, his contract is actually 3 years and 360 days longer than mine.
That's right. 4th and 1. Quarterback keeper. We got it. Should be enough. Yeah. At the 15-yard line.
This is a tough way to make a yard, but they actually only needed a few inches. Good penetration by the defense, but he just got what he needed.
That is a 1st down for the Gamecocks at South Carolina. They were in the Gator Bowl in 1984 with a 10-1 team under Joe Morrison. Lost to Oklahoma State in that game. They have not won a bowl game in 6 appearances. Trying to end that today, but trailing by 14 right now. Keith Bing hit at the line. Eric Hill up on top. As we said, their first bowl appearance was here in 1946. And then they had a long drought before they went to the Peach, then the Tangerine in 75, but notice they lost each of those. The Hall of Fame to Missouri, the Gator to Pittsburgh, and in 84, a late touchdown denied them the victory. And that marvelous team against Oklahoma State. 2nd down and 9, 8:56 to go. Harold Green back in the lineup. Sterling Sharp goes in motion. Ellis under pressure, incomplete. George Henriquez, number 91, was right in Todd Ellis's face. Might have hurt himself. The left hand that he's holding.
Here, Darren Malbrough, number 90, the linebacker. See him flowing with the quarterback now, getting in his relative zone. He's rolling exactly as the quarterback rolls, looking for a pattern. The receiver coming from the outside in. See, when you move like that, it's easy for the linebackers to move. When the quarterback had set up, then he would set up.
Time has been called to check on Ellis's injury. South Carolina, evidently everything okay because Todd Ellis remains in the game. 3rd down and 9. Sharp starts in motion, comes back to the left. 4-man rush by LSU. Ellis pressured and sacked 3rd time today. Big play by Darrell Phillips. He replaced an All-American Henry Thomas and has done an outstanding job this year.
And he has been a linebacker, really not a defensive nose guard. Getting his 5th sack on the year. Vern, he comes from a family of 7 kids. He knows how it is to fight uphill a little bit, I think. That nose guard's a tough position to play. Everyone battle on you. Left guard, right guard, center. Three guys got an immediate shot at you. And here he is, sacking the quarterback.
That will bring on the freshman Colin Mackey out of Irmo, South Carolina. 39-yard kick, good. They haven't gotten the touchdown, but they've gotten 2 field goals. Mike Archer's not unhappy with that. A beautiful light parade on the St. Johns River that was held last night in downtown as brightly colored boats floated up the St. Johns, past a reviewing stand, and past the bridge, had a laser show and fireworks. And all in all, it was quite a night. Those pictures provided by the MetLife blimp last night from the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Right now, Eric Markle getting ready to kick off as LSU leads 17-6. Alvin Lee and Sam Martin, the 2 deep men. It's Sam Martin. Great speed, and watch him. All the way out to the 44.
Great field position.
39-yard kickoff return.
Martin has 4.4 speed. Not a real big guy at 165 pounds. They list him at 175. The coach says that's with his pads on. Look at him hit that crack. Good blocking upfield. Good execution of a kick return.
That'll bring the LSU offense back on the field. Thus far, Tom Hodson 7 of 14 for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fires right side. Raji McGee makes the catch and across midfield to the 48-yard line. Greg Philpott with the tackle, number 25.
Hodson does a nice job with this one, Vern. The middle of your screen, just a short drop. He's throwing the hits. 1, 2, pop. Get it out there quickly. That's it. He gets it there. Almost has to go down to one knee to get it. And McGee is a big receiver. You really got to hit him square. He's 200 pounds. That's what we just call a quick hitch.
2nd down, 3. Louisiana State leads it by 11, 17-6. Give it off to the fullback, Victor Jones, and he searches left guard. Might be enough for the first down.
Vern, the thing that's happening too, good adjustment by, I think, the defensive coordinator, Joe Lee Dunn for South Carolina. They're starting to show their defenses later and don't commit them and making it a little tougher to audible your running game. So they're slowing it down. Let's see what happens. Playing a little game of cat and mouse here. You notice he doesn't have any headsets on. So they don't want distractions. He has a plan and he goes with it. He knows what he's going to call. He doesn't want anyone interfering.
3rd and 1. 6.5 to go in the first half.
I think he made it.
Victor Jones, forward progress should be hit is enough for the first down. Todd Ellis had that left hand injury. Let's check in on James Brown and see what the nature of it is.
All right, Vern, and Todd Ellis has been icing the backside of that left hand quite a bit here. As a matter of fact, the coach is a little concerned and asked the backup quarterback, Dickie DeMasi, to warm up along the sidelines just in case. We'll find out. Back to you, Vern.
Here's the play where it happened, and it looked like it happened right after the release with the helmet.
He's going down on it right there. May have fallen down on it right there, but he looks more concerned whether he threw the complete or incomplete pass than he is his own wrist.
And in the meantime, back to live action. That was a first down for LSU, and they get the first down with 6:19 to go in the half. Quick recap for you. Wendell Davis caught 2 touchdowns. There's Ellis over on the sideline. In the meantime, the other sophomore quarterback, Tom Hodson, has a 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Comes the blitz out of the backfield. Victor Jones inside the 40 to the 36. Dick, we are seeing 2 of the better sophomore quarterbacks in the country. Are there any negatives to having a sophomore quarterback?
The only negative is in the recruiting year. When you go out to try to recruit a comparable high school senior quarterback, everyone is telling this young man, hey, don't go to LSU, don't go to South Carolina. They have a guy there that's going to be playing for 2 more years, and you'll never get off the bench. Sometimes that kid ends up going someplace else. That's the only negative.
Second down plunge up the middle. Victor Jones again, the sophomore from Zachary, Louisiana, into the arms of Scott Windsor. Thus far, here's a look at what the two sophomores have accomplished. Ellis 10 of 17 for 103, while Hodson's 9 of 16 for 125. But the big difference, the bottom two lines. Two interceptions for Ellis, 2 touchdowns for Hodson. These two kids may hold every record in the book by the time they're done.
They've already broken most of them.
Yeah. Ronnie Halliburton in as an extra tight end now. 3rd and 1. Left side, Martin.
I don't think he made it.
Philpott made a nice tackle. Greg Philpott, number 25. And a little brouhaha breaks out in the middle of the field.
Taking a look at it from the end zone, hand off to the back to the left of your screen. Now he's getting it to him deep. Gives it, the lead block with a fullback with it. Good job of the safety, number 25, Greg Philpott, firing through, just inside safety blitz. Archer's a little upset, I think, with the placement.
Lip readers around America know exactly what he just said. They will not measure. It's 4th down, and Martin is over on the bench. Eddie Fuller takes his place.
You know, it really didn't look like he made it from up here.
No.
Down there, of course, you have a better angle, right, you know, right down there where they were standing. But you can see that he thought they made it.
Officially, they're going to call this 4th down and 2. And LSU will go for it. 17-6 with 4:15 to go in the half. LSU has led throughout after jumping out to a quick 14-0 edge. Toss right. Got it twice.
Good job. Good job by the
Fuller.
offense.
Inside the 30 as Fuller takes the toss and comes right.
You can see the defense there, just penetrating inside, trying to close off the inside gaps. They're turning back inside, no one to fill that as they turn it back inside, and Eddie Fuller makes the 1st down.
And on the sideline, Mike Archer, having decided to go for it for 4th and 2, watches closely and says, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I love it.
1st and 10, Louisiana State. Quick drop, pop over the middle. Hot receiver, incomplete. Wendell Davis. He got off to such an explosive start, it's almost like he hasn't been in the game in this quarter. Called his name so much in quarter number 1 when he caught 5. And he has been a silent factor so far, but that's just for the moment.
Jerry Sullivan, his receiver coach, told me his great asset is not just blinding speed. He has 4.55 speed, but he has great ability to maintain speed through breaking points. Very fluid through breaking points.
Heck of a basketball game coming up Saturday, 2:30 Eastern. Florida against Pitt in Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 10. Once again, straight drop back over the middle. And somehow in that crowd, the catch was made by Brian Kinchin, the senior from Baton Rouge.
I don't know how he saw anybody to throw the ball to there. The defense was right there. The offensive lineman almost looked like a delayed screen, but the tight end was the receiver.
Kinchin for the season with 17 catches coming in. It was his dad that James Brown talked with back earlier in the game. 3rd and 7. Now watch him come.
They're loaded up to the offensive left there. See the offensive back now. Victor Jones moving over.
Hodson.
Oh, great catch.
Sure was, but short of the 1st down. Well, let's see where forward motion is going to be. At the 20. Oh, that'll cause some arguments.
Yeah, that was a great catch.
That might be enough for the 1st down. Archer doesn't like the spot, which appeared to us to be favorable at the 20-yard line. And 4th down again, they'll not even measure.
Direct your attention to the right corner of your screen. You're going to see an excellent catch. Watch the reach, the lean and reach and take that ball out of the air. They did get a pretty good spot on that.
Oh, they got a great spot on that. 4th and less than a foot. McGee, the motion man. Up the middle. He made it. Victor Jones, the sophomore, carrying just across the 20. Archer has chosen to go for it on 4th down.
You can see the line of scrimmage there right before that 20. Here he goes, hands it off. He gets in there, gets a nice block there even by the receiver, Rogie McGee. You can't tell right there. Archer, he's into it. That's it. No substitute for intensity in the football field.
Looks like a young Vermeil.
No.
Oh, yeah. 1st and 10. Right side. Philpott. Oh, what a run. Philpott had the early contact.
On a nice contact. He came right up in there just like you'd like him to. Square on to but the running back did not hang it up. He kept going. Philpott, number 25, will appear to the right side of your screen. There you see him. Now, boom, he gets a good shot on him right there, but he can't get him put down. Can't get him on the ground.
Eddie Fuller with an extra 2 or 3 yards. That leaves it at a 2nd and 3, and we're 68 seconds away from the first half. Contact behind the line again on Eddie Fuller. Ricky Daniels made the stop. Coming up at halftime, Jim Nance and Ara Parsegian come to you from Dallas, site of tomorrow's Cotton Bowl. We'll have an interview with the new Ohio State head coach, John Cooper, and a preview of tomorrow's Cotton Bowl game between the Aggies and Notre Dame. That's just 35 seconds away. Mike Archer's team leads 17-6, and they've got a 3rd and 4 right now.
You can see Victor Jones up there getting the audible.
Otson drills it, 1st and goal. Timeout. Wendell Davis with the catch, his 7th of the first half. Time is called with 16 seconds to go in the half, and LSU has a 1st and goal. In Jacksonville, Florida, 16 seconds before the halftime. South Carolina and LSU each with 2 timeouts remaining, and LSU a 1st and goal at the 4. They're up by 11 at 17-6, and a double tight end set on this 1st down play.
During the 16 seconds, I wouldn't be surprised to see a play action pass with.
That's McGee in motion. There's the play action pass into the flat. Oh, had a man open, makes the catch, but short of the 1st down. Raji McGee, the senior, or short of the end zone rather. Down for 2, and they call timeout with 10 seconds to go. Now let's take a look at the campuses of South Carolina and LSU.
And it's wonderful to be young and to be a student of the University of South Carolina.
Recently, we received testimonials from some folks in pretty high places. They participated in a year-long dialogue about values in modern life. Students and faculty meeting the important personalities of our time. That's what makes the University of South Carolina a little bit different and a lot more exciting.
LSU has a 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line and 1 timeout left. They will go again with a double tight end set. Raji McGee is the wide receiver instead of Wendell Davis. That's strictly, I would think, Dick, a matter of size. He's 6'3", 200.
Yeah, he's like having almost another tight end there at that weak back position. They have the 2 big tight ends in there as well.
Halliburton is 1 tight end, Brian Kitchen the other. There is Mike Archer, who has gone for 4th down twice successfully. Now has a 2nd and goal from the 2. 10 seconds before halftime. Toss right.
No way.
Denied.
Good defense.
They have 1 timeout left. They use it with 5 seconds to go. Brad Edwards, who is a 2nd-team All-American safety this year, made the tackle.
They try the toss. Now you can see Kinchin, 49, in the middle of your screen, the wing back 80. Rogie McGee, he's getting the blocks right there. They turn it back up inside. There he goes back up inside. Here comes the defense. Good defense, shoulder to shoulder. 2 men, put him down. No touchdown.
I think Archer's going to go for the field goal now with only 5 seconds left.
I don't think you have much choice.
There is Brad Edwards, who switched positions this year from strong safety to free safety. He and Greg Philpott switched. 8 interceptions for the season. And a 2nd-team All-American status. Leads the team with 120 tackles.
And I'll tell you something, he is a player. When you visit with him about football, his eyes start to sparkle a little bit. He likes to get after you.
David Browndyke to try and make it once again a 14-point lead. That's simple. And with 1 second left, Brown Dyke hits it from 18 yards. And we will have time for the kickoff. LSU up by 14. They got there immediately, as on their opening series they went 39 yards in 2 plays. Wendell Davis caught the touchdown on the left side for his first score of the day. Then after a pass interception return of 48 yards, Davis caught a 12-yard toss from Tom Hudson to make it 14-0. That was early in the game. Colin Mackey's 44-yard field goal made it 14-3 with South Carolina trailing. Then they had to settle for another LSU came back with a Brown Dyke field goal to make it 17-3. And Mackey answered for South Carolina from 39 yards out to make it 17-6. And David Brown Dyke just got the field goal on this long drive set up by Sam Martin's kickoff return. Brown Dyke good, nothing to it. Mike Archer on the sideline. Nothing to it.
No, it's just all a matter of a day's work.
And a 20-6 LSU lead as the Tigers try and become the first LSU team since '61 to win 10 games. They've got a little bowl streak of their own they'd like to change. They've lost their last 4 bowl appearances. Last win was in 1979. LSU has been to 27 bowl games, only 5 schools more than Louisiana State.
Some schools are always going to win. Situations win in university situations as much as sometimes coaches do. I mean, the SCs are going to win, the Notre Dames are going to win, the Penn States are going to win, the LSUs are going to win. It's almost a built-in tradition, but it's also due to the size of the school and the community around it, the number of athletes available, and the tradition that's developed over the years of the winning. It just perpetuates itself.
Speaking of schools that win, of course, John Cooper has accepted the job at Ohio State, and he'll be interviewed at halftime, leaving Arizona State after 3 years there. 40,000 from South Carolina. Oh, free kick. And almost grabbed. It is taken by South Carolina. And that is the final play of the first half. Carl Platt grabbed it. That's the end of the first half with our score. Louisiana State 20 and South Carolina 6. We'll be back with the college half.
Joe Lee Dunn told me that his players really enjoyed studying the LSU films. He said they really respected how well they played football.
1st and 10, Louisiana State after the 50-yard kickoff return from Sam Martin set them up.
Jed Diggs, number 42, good penetration. See, if you're going to run that kind of defense, Vern, you've got to get that penetration. And LSU has been doing a good job of shutting that penetration off. This time, Diggs whips it and gets the play. Here he is, the right side of your screen. Now watch him get the penetration. He whips. Yeah, it's the tight end right there, Brian Kitchen. He whips him, he gets upfield, turns it back inside, and makes the play himself. Good job by the defensive end, Jed Diggs, number 42.
Senior out of Fort Myers, Florida. It'll be 2nd down after the loss, 2nd and 14. Back to the 25. Hudson 5-step drop deep in the end zone. Wendell Davis, touchdown. That's 3. Davis teamed up 72 times in the regular season. They've now connected 8 times for 122 yards in this game and 3 touchdowns.
Wendell Davis was lined up in the slot, Vern. One-on-one, they were bringing people up there. There was no help underneath. You'll see him one-on-one situation with Robbie Robinson, number 36, playing him outside. Now watch him go in and give him a little post move there. And now he's going back to the corner. Now see Robinson coming from the inside out. Beautiful throw, right where he had to put the ball. Short to the inside, then Robinson would have been able to flip it away. Not this one. The throw was right where it had to be. Good execution.
Nice way to open the second half. LSU goes 46 and gets the touchdown.
The Mazda Gator Bowl Classic is sponsored by Mazda, bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. American Airlines, something special in the air. And by Shearson Lehman Brothers and E.F. Hutton, joining together to serve the serious investor.
Downtown Jacksonville with the St. Johns River running through this lovely city. That sight from the MetLife blimp hovering overhead. And LSU strikes quickly to open the second half, a 27-6 lead. Ron Lewis with a squib kick. And not handled cleanly. It'll be down at the 24-yard line. Sam Martin set up the scoring drive with a 50-yard return. And then 6 plays, 47 yards. It took 226. Wendell Davis with his 3rd touchdown reception of the day.
You know, that decision at the coin toss at the start of the game wasn't too bad. Decided to take the ball in the second half, and they came up with 14 points in the first quarter. Came up with 7 points taking the kickoff. Pretty good decision.
13th time Wendell Davis has been over 100 yards, and his 22nd career touchdown now for LSU. Todd Ellis in trouble, sacked for the 4th time.
Coverage sack.
Carl Dunbar gets it, number 63.
You'll notice here, Todd Ellis gets back. He wants to get rid of the ball, but the coverage has done a real good job downfield. A little play action fake. Now he's sitting there. See, he wants to throw. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's not going to throw another one. He's not going to take a high-risk throw down there. He eats the ball. Good pass defense downfield.
4 sacks of Todd Ellis now. Sterling Sharp in motion. Oops. Ellis trips and falls down at the 11. Darrell Phillips will get credit for the sack, but it was simply a trip on the part of the Ellis.
I have seen that happen to NFL Players of the Year at the quarterback position. So, Todd, don't feel bad. It's a little embarrassing. He goes back and he trips himself. See, he takes a big step and plants his right foot and tries to cross over with his left and kicks himself and goes down. Then he gets a lunch shot right there on the field.
And Darrell Phillips with a little celebration.
He's a little excited. Will he get credit for a sack on that?
Yeah, he sure will. And he'll brag about it forever.
That's a cheap sack. There's a nice throw.
Danny Smith over the middle. Oh, great throw. They might have gotten it back after the loss of 14 and the loss of 5.
Give Todd Ellis some credit. He has 2 plays in a row where he gets sacked and he trips back there. He's throwing 2 interceptions. He gets back right now. He's not going to give up. He's going to go ahead and stick it downfield with some confidence. He works up in the pocket, sticks it down in there in that zone defense. Good job.
Yeah, but. Yes, penalty? But. Penalty. Holding call. Wipes it out.
Goes bad. All goes bad.
Holding on the offense. 3rd down.
That'll be a half the distance call. It wipes out the first down and increases the frown on Joe Morrison's.
Meanwhile, he's saying, listen, young man, we're not out of this ball game.
Okay, so mix it up. Catch himself.
3rd and 29 from the 5-yard line. Nearly a sack. Kevin White gets out of the tackle and does manage to reach the 14-yard line. Rudy Harmon, number 58, gets the tackle, and it'll be 4th down.
You notice this crowd is a little quieter than you would normally think a bowl crowd would be, but it's, I think, a bigger percentage South Carolina crowd.
Almost 5-1.
5-1.
They expected 40,000 down here from South Carolina. Here's Rodney Price on the punt. He boomers. Contact but no flag behind the line. Greg Jackson returns it to the 45. And there is an LSU player slow getting up downfield as Price trots off. Tim High made the tackle.
Rodney Price hit that a good one, boy. And he's averaging 42-2.
Now there is a flag back at the 14-yard line. Face mask call.
But it's against South Carolina.
Right. I think Archer might want the field position he's got.
I don't think he'll take a chance. Yeah, he wants the ball right there. That's it.
Joe Morrison, 14 years.
Decline. First down.
Thank you, Robert Wood, with the New York Giants. I'll just complete my sentence.
There have been, he's had his jersey retired, too.
Number 40.
Within the National Football League. 7-time team captain of the New York Giants, 1959 through 72.
Once again, LSU has terrific field position, and they've got a 27-6 lead. One member of the crowd of better than 82,000 is former Ohio State coach Earl Bruce. He's standing by with James Brown right now. JB.
All right, Vern, the highly successful but recently fired head coach of Ohio State, Earl Bruce. And, of course, Coach, you know that John Cooper of Arizona State is now going to be the coach at Ohio State. Your reaction to that?
Well, it's no surprise. It's been rumored in Columbus that he's going to be the coach. John is a graduate of Iowa State University and had a great coaching career at Tulsa and now at Arizona State. So I wish him well with our football team at Ohio State.
Obviously, speculation is going to follow you wherever you go. Shall we read anything into why you're here at the Mazda Gator Bowl?
No. I'm a good friend of Bob Markham's. We were on the staff together out at Iowa State. He was the associate athletic director, and I was the head football coach. We became very good friends. Date way back to Canton McKinley Massillon days in high school. So I'm just here as his guest and enjoying the game. I love football.
Speaking of that, what are your plans as far as football is concerned in the future?
Well, right now I'm unemployed and I'm looking for a job, and any job that comes open that I'm going to look into and see if they have any interest in me as a potential coach at their institution. I'm very much interested in coaching, as I said.
All right, Earl Bruce, best of luck to you in your search. All right, let's go back to Dick and Vern.
Okay, JB, and good luck to Earl Bruce. Bob Markham, by the way, the fellow he mentioned, is the athletic director of South Carolina. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct call on that little screen pass at the end of the play against Louisiana State University, so they'll mark it off.
That's about the first thing that's going wrong for him all day, really.
Isn't it, though? And all the way back to the 30-yard line. Well, we are inside, but just outside. Look at this.
It looks like fun.
Good. We've got one arranged for you. That's our getaway to the airport.
We're going to need it.
And I'm riding behind you. Second down and 25.
Just as long as you're not driving, I'll be all right.
Hand off. Eddie Fuller to the 40-yard line. It'll be second down and 15. Third and 15. Kevin Hendricks, number 98, makes the tackle.
Eddie Fuller's doing a real good job. You know, he ran real well against University of Miami, too. This guy's a good football player. With the other great back that's not playing, Harvey Williams, he's actually third in line to play, so that's why you don't hear much about him. But fortunately, he's only a sophomore.
Sam Martin back in now. Third and 15 from the 40. 27-6, 9:25 to go, third quarter. LSU 4 of 9 third down conversions. That's about what they've averaged throughout the year.
They're coming after him.
Everybody's coming. Patrick Hinton chasing Hodgson. He gets rid of it, incomplete. Wendell Davis tried to come back and dive for the ball. Just a little short. It'll be fourth down.
That was one of the few times that a linebacker stunning inside, dogging inside, actually got through cleanly and got the kind of pressure on the quarterback that they've been trying to get on him the entire ball game, and they just couldn't do it.
Had another penalty on that play, Dick. Ineligible receiver downfield. And here's Robert Wood to explain it.
Ineligible downfield against the offense. It's declined. It's fourth down.
That will bring on Matt DeFrank. LSU 27 bowls. Their last win, however, was in '79 in the Tangerine Bowl against Wake Forest. So they're trying to break a streak of their own, and South Carolina has never won a bowl game. Sterling Sharp back to return it, waits at the 20. DeFrank lets it go. Sharp has it.
Ooh, old-fashioned straight arm. You see that?
Jamie Bice made the tackle, number 40. That's a 42-yard punt and 5 on the return. And another flag back at the 40-yard line.
Looks like the NFL in the kicking game.
Yes, it does. Holding against LSU. Face mask. Mike Archer wants to know who.
I don't think I'd want him mad at me if I were a young college football player, would you? Huh?
I got an idea.
I think he'd get after you pretty good. He says, you know something, Dick, the only thing I really yell at my players about is when they don't run to the football on defense. He says, we teach fundamental technique and discipline and all that, but we don't teach them to run. That's got to come from the heart.
2 penalties. Joe Morrison looks on, wondering what's happening. That is the referee's microphone, which was turned on prematurely. Here we are.
Holding against the offense during the kick. We had a 5-yard face mask against the kicking team after change of possession. South Carolina has declined the face mask. They have accepted the holding penalty. It's 4th down. Ball.
You always want to make people punt it again when you're punting the ball to a guy like Sterling Sharp, because he has 1 touchdown return this year on a punt return, so he can put it in the end zone.
Tell you something interesting. LSU throughout 11 games has had only 8 punts returned all year.
Either lousy punting or good coverage.
Well, there's the Frank. It's fair catch, so they still have only 8 punts. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, that is. Many times when it happens, you just have a lousy punter and they can never field the ball. But with this guy, he's getting a good hang time and the coverage is getting under it. Therefore, there's no room to return. Fair catch call.
46-yard punt. Then coming up this Saturday, NCAA basketball on CBS, a dandy game. Florida goes on the road to take on Pittsburgh. That's at 2:30 Eastern time. Timmy Brand and Billy Packer will be in Pittsburgh for that game. And that'll be followed by Sports Saturday, the season premiere of. We'll have a middleweight fight for you, Nunn against Watts, the NFL playoff preview and the College Bowl review. Right now, we're in the 3rd quarter of the Mazda Gator Bowl, 27-6. LSU leads. Todd Ellis into the flat for Harold Green. And he gets it out to the 27-yard line. Not much has gone right for the Garnet and Black of South Carolina since they fell behind early 14-0. Did manage to climb back within 11 at one point, 17-6, but they trail 27-6 right now.
LSU has just now given them the opportunity to get that big play.
2nd down and 6. Ellis. Harden Brown, number 11, makes the catch. And the tackle made by Mike Mays, rather.
The comment that Todd Lewis made in the open about the run and shoot and get the ball to the man in motion out there is like a wide sweep. That was a perfect example of what he was talking about. Taking a look at it from the all-22 angle, you'll see him going across in motion. He's all the way out here now. The quarterback will roll out to him. Now see him just stand there, the top left-hand corner of your screen. If he can't get the ball downfield into the zones, then he lays it off to him, and it's just like running a wide sweep play.
3rd and short. Fumble. LSU comes up with it. I believe. No official indication yet. Yes, there it is. 3rd turnover.
Joe says, I cannot believe it.
Marlborough, the linebacker, Darren Marlborough, the senior from Metairie, Louisiana.
Just direct handoff, giving it to him right there. It's fumbled at the exchange. Most of the time when that happens, the quarterback slaps the ball into the running back's stomach rather than inserting it. Now, you can't tell from that angle, but that's normally what happens.
And again, LSU with great field position. They're at the 35-yard line, 1st down. 3rd South Carolina turnover.
Here they come.
Hodson, right across the middle of the tight end. Brian Kinchin, the senior.
Now you'll notice, Vern, that they brought both inside linebackers, and the tight end, I would imagine, both inside linebackers standing right here. They shoot. The tight end's coming off. Kinchin comes off. He sees it. He slants to the inside and catches the hot receiver type pattern. Now watch him. Right in the middle of the screen. There he comes off. He sees the linebackers. He looks back inside, reaches up, makes the nice catch. Good job, Brian Kinchin.
2nd down and 2. LSU. Brian Kinchin tight to the right side. And here comes that. Made contact early.
You know, they're a little frustrated. The defense is a little frustrated. They're a penetrating, sacking type defense, and they haven't gotten to the quarterback. Now they're trying to get there just a little too early, Vern. They're all up there. Hits. That's a strong safety, number 25 up there. Seeing 4 black jerseys right to the right. The trouble is 2 of them are offside.
And as a result of that penalty, Morrison walks away in disgust. Joe Lee Dunn looks on, trying to solve the problems presented by LSU, and the Tigers have a first down at the 23.
I would imagine that LSU is using a lot of long cadences to give them the good look, and then also to create that situation where they might jump offside.
Leading run by Sam Martin inside the 20 to the 19. Brad Edwards makes the tackle, number 27. Martin gets up a little gimpy. Nacho Albergamo, the All-American center, started the game, but went out with that torn calf muscle. He got it kicked in the first quarter and has not been back in there. And Martin now heads to the bench. Eddie Fuller will come back on. I mentioned in the first half that Harvey Williams, the outstanding sophomore running back, is in civvies. There is Nacho Albergamo. Kind of a disappointing way to end his collegiate career. Mickey Harris, number 30, with the carry. And that will bring up a third down. Boy, I keep going back to the point you made, and I think it's so valid we see this game unfold about the extra time that LSU had to prepare offensively for this gambling defense.
If you didn't have that time in the normal week of 3 days of true preparation for this kind of stunning, dogging, and blitzing defense, it'd drive you crazy on Saturday. But having the extra time, your kids can really develop a confidence in that they can handle it, and that's half the battle.
3rd and 4. Only one team all year has scored 30 points against South Carolina. That was Nebraska. Fumble. And it goes South Carolina's way. Roy Hart, number 54.
Roy Hart's only lined up about 2 inches away from it. He certainly knows where it is, and he comes up with a fumble. Normally when this happens, the center sinks his butt just a little too soon in pass protection and forces the quarterback's hands away from the ball, the exchange point, and the ball goes to the ground right to the nose guard, Roy Hart.
Senior nose guard makes the recovery. It's first down South Carolina, but they have got to get something going offensively. They've been stymied throughout. 2 field goals thus far. Here's Ellis back to pass. Right side, too high, incomplete. Pass is sailing on him. Intended for Ryan Bethea. It'll be second down and 10. 82,000 on hand for the 43rd Mazda Gator Bowl here on CBS from Jacksonville, Florida. 5:43 to go, 3rd quarter. It has been an LSU romp thus far. Vern Lundquist along with Dick Vermeil and James Brown. And a second down and 10. Ellis is now 13 of 21 for 135 yards. Danny Smith, nice grab, great pass. He had to thread it between 2 defenders.
They played double zone that time, rolling the corner up from the outside and bringing the safety, Greg Jackson, over toward him. That was a heck of a throw. Smith down here in the bottom, you'll notice he'll be covered on the outside with the safety working over here, and he works right in and catches it right in the seam. Boy, if that thing was thrown just a foot behind that, it would be another interception. Now see the safeties rolling? Corner does a nice job of jamming and forcing to the outside, which he has to do. Normally, you'd like to funnel him back into the inside, really, in that type of coverage.
That's the 12th South Carolina first down. Harold Green out near the 48-yard line.
The critical thing in that type of coverage is the corner rolling up. In this case, it was Kevin Guidry, number 27, and he has to make contact with that receiver. He did, but the receiver still worked into that zone. You'd like to funnel him back inside, if you can, in a zone too deep coverage.
There are Ellis's stats for the day: 156 yards, 2 interceptions. 1 set up, an LSU touchdown, another denied, a South Carolina TD. They're going to fight for Harold Green, avoids a tackle, and fights for nearly first down yardage across midfield to 46. Kevin Guidry again, number 27, with the stop. Think about Jack Elway out at Stanford, the head coach. Both Tom Hudson at LSU and Todd Ellis at South Carolina thought about going to Stanford. Either one of them, he's in great shape out there, huh?
Again, that goes back to the tradition of Stanford having the quarterbacks over the years that have been very successful, the Elways, the Plunkett's, and these kind of guys, and they think about that as a passing school. Plus, they were both good students.
Ellis is a 3.3 history major. said he came very close to going to Stanford. 3rd down and short. Sterling Sharp in motion, quarterback sneak. That'll be a 1st down. Matter of fact, Dick, it was fun talking with Todd Ellis about his recruiting trip out when he went to visit Stanford in Palo Alto.
Can you imagine sitting in the Super Bowl, the Miami 49ers Super Bowl game? That's the weekend of your campus visit. You're sitting next to John Elway, the coach's son, NFL quarterback, and you're a high school kid, and you turn him down and go to South Carolina?
Yep.
They'd assign me. Of course, I couldn't qualify at Stanford, you know.
No, you only coached there.
Yeah, but well, it's the only way I could get in.
1st and 10. Don't forget, Cotton Bowl tomorrow. Here's Todd Ellis back. Some kind of a mix-up between him and Sterling Sharp then.
No, actually, what they're trying to do is split the zones in the defense that time. And when you hit it, running straight upfield, so you're running away from the line of scrimmage, it can be a big play. They've got to take a few chances like that.
Saw Jim Nance and Ara Parsegian at halftime. They'll be along tomorrow, along with Brent Musburger and Pat Hayden at the Cotton Bowl. Notre Dame against the Aggies tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern time. You liking that one?
I'll tell you, I haven't seen Texas A&M play, but I've seen Notre Dame, and it was a bad day for Notre Dame. You take that's Jimmy the Greek's job to pick those kind of things.
That's right. In the meantime, those pickets hurt us both, don't they? From the fence. 2nd down and 10. Ellis back again. That could be intercepted. No.
That's the old tip drill. All defensive coaches work on the tip drill. They do that almost every day. And sometimes they use it as a warm-up drill. They throw the ball back, a receiver will bat it in the air, then the defenders will come and try to catch that thing before it hits the ground. That was a great example of why you do that.
Darren Marlborough dived for it, didn't quite get it.
Here's what we're talking about in the tip drill. See the ball go up in the air? Just like playing volleyball. Now defenders go for it. This is a coached reaction. You would think it'd be automatic, and it is automatic, but we try to improve that reaction.
3rd and 10. Intercepted. Picked off by McKernan, or rather Nicky Hazard. Hazard, number 48, with his 2nd pass interception of the year, and that's the 3rd pick against Todd Ellis.
Zone defense. See, LSU is not taking any chances going to man. Coming straight back now, you'll see him right there. He's looking at just playing zone, looking for people to come across. The receiver was coming across, and it's obvious that Ellis didn't see him as he crossed the formation. There's the linebacker dissecting the pass on the ball. Now he's a running back, getting up there. That's exciting for a linebacker.
And again, the field position for LSU, this time at the 49. They spent very few seconds inside their own 30. And off up the middle to the 46. Jay Egloff, number 36. 4 South Carolina turnovers, a fumble, 3 pass interceptions. LSU has turned it over twice. Nicky Hazard on the sideline.
What's up, Mom? Squirrel Mike,
what's for dinner, Mom? That's what he's yelling.
2nd and 8. Flag down. Tony Moss wide open to the 10-yard line. Check the flag. 36-yard gain if it stands. It won't.
Holding, it's called back. It's holding, it's called back. They picked up the dog, got the man-to-man coverage as a result of the dog, beat the coverage.
Explain something for those who are listening and might not know the difference in the term dog and blitz.
That's really, you know, each coach is a little bit different. Me, a dog is when linebackers are included with down linemen. A blitz is when linebackers and a safety getting into where they're rushing 8 and covering 3. See, if you only rush 7, you can still pick people up with most protections. But if you rush 8, you're outnumbered. That becomes a blitz.
Holding call wipes out the 36-yard gain and a 1st and goal. We are live this afternoon on New Year's Eve afternoon from the Mazda Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. 27-6 LSU. 3 touchdown tosses. Wendell Davis, 122 yards. LSU has 4 quarterback sacks, and the total offense edge, like everything else in this game, goes to the Tigers of Louisiana State University. 2nd down and 18.
Boy, they're really loaded up there now, Vern. Look at
Now they've got 9 men coming. Hot receiver right side was Eddie Fuller. And it'll be 3rd and 18.
You can see now in this shot here what Tom was looking at. You can see all these people here. There's just too many people to block. You got one defender here and one back over here. He can't block them all, so he's got to get rid of the football quickly. Now they all don't come. So 2 defenders drop out of there. But he still went ahead and adjusted it and got the ball off, but not complete.
3rd and 18, 2:10 to go, 3rd quarter.
That's the problem. When they get them all up there, you've got to assume that they're all going to come.
This time there are 7 men up on the line. And they're not coming. Fumble again. And a scramble for the ball at the 43. Little tussle behind that scramble, too.
South Carolina's got it, I think.
Brad Edwards says South Carolina ball. They're still fighting for it.
Jay Egloff, number 36. He's upset. He wanted that football. Did the nose guard get that again, Vern?
Roy Hart recovered.
I wonder if Tommy pulled out. Hobson, the quarterback in the middle of the screen, just pulled out just a little early. I can't tell. I still think the center is sinking his tail. Just a little too early in the snap, thinking pass protection, getting back.
Well, and once again, Nacho Albergamo, the All-American center, is on the bench, and Todd Cootie is in there.
Right, and Todd, though, played the whole Miami game and played well. He's played a lot of football.
2nd fumble recovery for Roy Hart. 2:03 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. LSU still up by 21. 2:03 remaining 3rd quarter. Another turnover for South Carolina, and they get the ball at the 43-yard line of LSU. But trying to find the magic for the offensive attack hasn't been there so far. 17 yards on the ground today for South Carolina. They'll try it again. Harold Green. That's his 14th carry of the afternoon. Now, keep in mind, in college ball, just an amplification about that stat about 17 yards, quarterback sacks
are deducted, right?
Right. They come off the rushing yardage, so it's a little deceiving, as opposed to the NFL method of keeping stats.
See, being behind 27-6, they can't waste much time trying to establish a running attack, I'll tell you that.
Second down and 5, 1:28 to go, 3rd quarter. Kevin White comes in motion. Todd Ellis on the full row to the left. Gets a good block. Pulls up and goes back across the grain.
Boy, that's hard to do.
You bet. As we saw.
He really didn't want to do that. That pattern wasn't designed to do that. The 2 receivers going downfield bumped into each other, knocking them off course. See, the advantage of a rollout, Vern, is when you get all the way out like he comes. See, if he gets all the way out here now and throws to his left out in front of him, that's a shorter throw than throwing from a drop back. But he's forced now to set and throw back. That's really tough. Now, as he sets and throws back, that's tough to do. That receiver wasn't designed to be in there. It was a broken pattern.
And at the end of the play, Clint James, defensive lineman, the sophomore from New Orleans, was injured for LSU. Looks like his elbow might have been injured on that last play. Overhead, the MetLife blimp providing our pictures, aerial views today. And in command of the MetLife blimp, the captain, Mike Farmer from Orlando, Florida. Third down and 5 with 1:18 to go, 3rd quarter. That's so crystal clear, you can almost get a play-by-play view. Good telestrator view for you.
Boy, it would be. Just to zoom just a little bit more, guy.
27-6, South Carolina. 3rd down conversions, 3 of 10 for the Gamecocks.
They came in and converting at about 53%, which is extremely high.
4-man rush. Weaving pattern. Harden, Brown, 1st down plus. Eric Hill had to go way downfield to make the tackle. 1st down, Carolina. And a gain of 21.
Harden did a nice job of running what we call a delay pattern from the inside the slot. Here he is sitting. He got man in motion. Will stretch the defense. He'll come out, delay as these people clear it out, and then he'll come back under on the delay. Did an awfully nice job. And against the zone, Vern, this is a very efficient way to throw the ball underneath on those linebackers. Let's see, now watch.
First down and 10. Keith Bing is in. Sterling Sharp in the wingback run down at the 18. We'll go back to that previous play.
Yeah, take a look at this. It's really well executed delay pattern. Here he is now, the man on the hash mark there at the 40-yard line. Harden Brown, number 11. He comes off. Now watch him come to the outside. He delays and goes back underneath. The linebackers that drop deep in the zone. He gets underneath all of them. They're pursued with the quarterback's rollout action, and he gets a nice run out of it.
Now it's second down after the last unsuccessful play, and Harden Brown lines up tight left, goes in motion. Ellis back. In trouble, sacked again. All the way back at the 25. That's number 6. Ron Sancho.
He came into the game with 9 sacks, so you can see he can get in the face of that quarterback. Hard to get outside that guy.
That's the end of the third quarter with our score. LSU 27, South Carolina 6. We'll continue after this message and a word from your local station.
With all the right parts in all the right places.
43rd Mazda Gator Bowl from Jacksonville, Florida. The South Carolina Gamecocks and the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Louisiana State leads it as we begin the final stanza. 3rd and 18, South Carolina, trailing by 21. Todd Ellis back to throw. Been sacked 6 times, in trouble. Pulls up. Fires it deep, a bump at the 5. Flag down, pass interference. That'll be first and goal.
I saw the contact. Greg Jackson made the contact. Actually, the ball was thrown behind him, and Greg was chasing the receiver, and the receiver stopped, and wham, he made contact with him. Pass interference.
South Carolina desperately needs the touchdown to get back in this thing. They would trail by 14, but we've still got almost a full quarter to play.
In the right-hand corner of your screen, I think you'll be able to see the contact made by number 35, Greg Jackson. See, right there, the ball's thrown behind the receiver, and he came back, and Greg Jackson, number 35, was standing right there, and look at Danny Smith, 41. He's doing the officiating. I saw that. You.
Well, Jackson is guilty of the foul. Here's Robert Woods to confirm it. Well, I guess he already did.
You know, LSU as a defensive team was not real pleased with how they played defense against Tulane, and they really anticipated playing a lot better today.
Gave up 36 points in that game. LSU came from behind to win it, 41-36. First and goal from the 10. Up the middle, Harold Green to the 5, touchdown! Fine run. Point is good. Colin Mackey.
Taking a look at this from behind the free safety, number 11, Chris Carrier. 2 backs in the backfield for actually the first time in other than goal line short yardage situation. Now he makes a great cutback right there. Darren Malvo over pursued. Chris Carrier misses the tackle right there and allows him to get into the end zone. Touchdown.
South Carolina now trails by 14. All but 13 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and it's a 14-point margin now, 27-13 after the touchdown drive and the score by Harold Green of South Carolina. Eric Markle set to kick it off. Angle to the far side, taking it to 21. Bryant.
South Carolina fans are really starting to get into it, Vern. The little things count. You'll see an isolation play, lead block. He's running in here, but the key to it is Mark Fryer's cutoff block on the backside, allowing him to get back in through that hole. Good job by the backside offensive tackle, Mark Fryer, number 78. Now watch him chop them down. See the hole created right there? But too big a hole for the linebacker to fill. Cut back touchdown.
That scoring drive, 43 yards in 6 plays after the fumble recovery, took to 16. Harold Green got the 6. 1st and 10. Sam Martin. Oh, boy, he was within a whisker of being gone.
He can make you miss.
Things look bad for a while, but it's looking a little better for South Carolina, and James Brown is with the governor of that state, JB.
And Vern, when Carolina was down by 21 points, there was no more active a fan than Governor Campbell. You called the play that scored the touchdown. What was it that worked for him?
Well, the coach called the play, but we were guessing at it. That power eye, they went in there and they got a blocker in the backfield. Gave Green some extra help coming out, and he can run.
There was another famous Republican who used to send in plays. George Allen got his plays from Richard Nixon. What do you suggest for your team the rest of the way?
Well, I suggest that we score 2 more touchdowns real quick and get back in this ball game. I believe we're going to do it.
And you got a chance to cheer on another team in your state tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going over to Orlando, and we're going to win that ball game with Clemson, too.
All right, Vern, back up to you.
Penalty on the last play, and the ball is marked back after the 10-yard call to the 15-yard line. Mike Archer's team has been in command for the first 3 quarters, but now the crowd is back in it. 2nd down and 18 officially. Hudson back, under pressure, lets it go early. It'll be 3rd and 18. And if South Carolina holds on this next play, this crowd has been waiting to erupt, and they will.
Tommy Hudson took a good shot here, Vern. They weren't able to pick everybody up. Man comes free, gets in there. Here he goes. He gets rid of the ball. But Scott Windsor gets a good shot on him anyway.
Now, 3rd and 18. Defensively, do you lay back at all, or you still come?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come with some kind of a rollout or draw, but they're not in a draw formation. They're not going to take any chances down there.
Carolina's still coming. Hodson rolls. Lets it go deep. Out of bounds. 4th down. Frank is on to punt. And Sterling Sharp is on to return.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come with 10 people here. Bring them all, try to block it.
Again, only 8 punts have been returned against LSU in the first 11 games, none today.
No, they're going for the return, man.
That's not a great kick. Sterling Sharp. 43-yard line of Louisiana State University.
Good field position. Now he just checks it off. Drops it down in the middle. Good defense. They had him contained from the outside with Eric Hill, 54, from the inside with the other linebacker. Good defense. First down, LSU.
Louisiana takes over. That's Sharp's 3rd catch of the game.
82,138.
Sam Martin nailed to the 28th. Our coverage of the Bowls continues tomorrow on New Year's Day. The Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas. Notre Dame versus Texas A&M at 1:30. Expect a high-scoring game in that one?
I wouldn't think so. Okay. I wouldn't think it would be a high-scoring game. I'd say like in the 21-point category for both teams and really competitive. Timmy Brown might make the difference.
Okay. 2nd down and 8. Wendell Davis been the standout wide receiver in this game. 11:50 remaining. Hodson back. Quick pass left side. Caught. First down LSU. Wendell Davis with his 9th catch of the ball game.
That's about the only kind of pass you can throw. Just a quick drop and let it go. They're bringing everybody in with the kitchen sink, and they've just got to get rid of the ball quickly. Watch the quarterback, and he gets this off in about 1.5 seconds. Watch. 1, 2, 3, let it go. At it, babe. Good job, and good pressure by the defense. He had to get rid of that football. I like to see young players execute things as they are coached.
Hodgson has given this team a first down and 10 after Davis's catch. LSU up 27-13. Mickey Harris up the middle for about 3 to the 43-yard line. 82,119 on hand here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville as the sun begins to set. Louisiana State on top 27-13 with 10:59 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. LSU went on top on a Wendell Davis touchdown, 7-0. He caught another to make it 14-0, and they have not trailed since then. Second down and 6. Oh, they caught him. Sam Martin, great speed. Brad Edwards knocks him out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Boy, they caught him that time just where they had to hit him. You'll note now the handoff will be to the left side of the screen. Everyone coming from the right. Good slant inside. Good pickup block by number 30. Gets through that big hole. Now Brad Edwards, 27, comes over and makes the play.
That's a gain of 21. Martin again. Short side of the field. Boy, he's got quick speed.
Yeah, good speed. He's getting a good block by the tight end to be able to slide outside like that. Brian Kitchen did a real good job.
Mentioned the 2 touchdown catches by Wendell Davis. Let's complete our scoring summary now. Colin Mackey's 44-yard field goal made it 14-3. And then David Browndyke extended the lead to 14 for LSU from 27 yards out. It was Mackey again to make it 17-6 with a 39-yard effort. 20-6 after Browndyke's 18-yard field goal. That was our halftime score. 27-6 on Davis's 3rd touchdown of the game. And then 27-13 after Harold Green scored from 10 yards out, and that's where we are right now, 27-13. Eddie Fuller to the 16-yard line. Scott Windsor with a tackle.
Fuller by Hendricks.
Here you just a good old power play, fullback blocking, double team blocking over here, sealing it off, fullback kicking out, pulling the guard through, handoff, here they go. Good power run, and here comes Ruffin Robert, number 68, lead, gets a nice block right there, good job. 98, Kevin Hendricks makes the play, and I'll tell you, 98, Kevin Hendricks played a super game a couple weeks ago against Miami.
First down at the 15-yard line. McKernan, number 48. And an injured player is down. Derek Frazier. That's one of the young men on the team whose uncle was a former great, Walt Frazier. Derek Frazier, the senior from Atlanta.
Look at that neck.
He does not look like a basketball player.
No, he's not a basketball player.
Speaking of basketball, this is called a segue in the business. Speaking of basketball, coming up, I feel like a disc jockey again. Florida against Pittsburgh, live at 2:30 Eastern time. Florida got dumped by Duke the other night, and Pittsburgh, of course, still undefeated, but that'll be live Saturday, 2:30 Eastern time, as our NCAA basketball coverage continues all the way through the NCAA championship from Kansas City, first weekend in April. Boy, we got a good lineup this year. And Derek Frazier.
You'll be working most those weekends.
Every weekend.
On the left-hand side of your scene, you'll see Derek Frazier right there. Seeing his left leg, it's man-to-man right there. He's fighting a block. Oh, it comes in from behind. It came in from behind. Some LSU offensive player came in from behind, being blocked into him. See, that leg was totally extended.
So Frazier comes to the sideline. Season average for South Carolina defensively, they have yielded on an average 227 yards per game. And today, LSU 329 yards.
You know, the other thing that was outstanding about their defense is they were taking the ball away 5 times for every touchdown pass they gave up, indicating they were very sound in their stunt dog package.
Second Second down, Eddie Fuller. Tackled at the 10. And that clock continues to work against South Carolina and for LSU. It now shows 9:25.
The problem with a stunt dog blitz type package, if it's handled by the offensive team, where do you go now? Because you're not really a defense that just lines up and plays, butts them and plays fundamental defensive technique. You know what I mean? And it leaves you very little place to go after you've had problems with your basic scheme.
Jolie Dunn looks on. He's taken to scratching his neck trying to solve the puzzle of LSU. Eddie Fuller to the 6-yard line. That's close for another first down. Tackle is made by Brad Edwards.
Here's the old draw play. Fullback leads through in front. Now see the fullback come through. Harris now he's going to. Now watch this young man. He's sort of stutter stepping, bouncing around. Good white base. See that? Reminds you of Reuben Mays in New Orleans.
That is short of the first down, so the field goal unit's going to come on 4th down. Eddie Fuller's about a foot short, and they will go for the field goal. Nebraska, as we said, scored 30 against South Carolina, and if this field goal is good, that would give LSU 30 in the game. David Brownback.
He hasn't missed one this year from that distance.
And he doesn't here.
It seems so funny to see that guy's foot on the left side, you know, kicking like that. It looks different.
23-yard field goal. Park is setting in on this lovely city of Jacksonville, Florida. And those pictures from up on top provided by the MetLife blimp. Captain Mike Farmer from Orlando, Florida. There it is. Good to have them with us. Jacksonville, hoping someday to get an NFL franchise. They've romanced more NFL teams than Henry VIII had wives.
Boy, this would be a nice stadium to play in. Beautiful turf. It's an older stadium. Pat Summerall said he played in this stadium in 1945 when it ran crossways from us rather than right to left. 1945.
You're giving away Summerall's age. Pat, of course, will be with you on Sunday from New Orleans. Wild card game. He and John Madden will be there. Here's the kick. Picked up at about the 5. Kevin Jones back to about the 16-yard line.
Many times when you bobble a kickoff like that, it sets up the timing a little bit better, and you'll pick up and break the darn thing.
South Carolina opened the 4th quarter with a touchdown. He got to within 14. Looked like they were really going to have a surge of momentum because they got the ball at, there's Harvey Williams, by the way, number 22.
He's the injured running back.
And he will be back. There was some thought that his injury was going to be career-ending, but he's already running.
Can you imagine? Here he is walking on a knee that was totally operated. I mean, really opened up, not arthroscopically operated on just 3 weeks ago.
1st and 10. Across the middle, Harold Green out to the 23-yard line. Ron Sancho, number 52.
You know, LSU has really done a good job of coaching. Frank Sadler and his offensive coaching staff have done a super job with this run and shoot offense. To do what they've done, 410 yards a ball game coming into this week, scoring 29.8 points a ball game. That's a lot of offense and a lot of good coaching being done.
Clock shows 7:39. 2nd down and 3. Three-man front for LSU. And the pass to Sterling Sharp. But he does not pick up the first down. Knocked out of bounds and stops the clock at the 24. If Louisiana State does hold on to win and they lead by 17 with 7.5 remaining, it'll be the 4th time to win 10. 1961 was the last time. They finished ranked 3rd and 58th, the national champions. I don't remember the 08 team. And I guess the AP didn't rank them that year, nor did the UPI.
I remember so vividly those years of LSU being so good in the Chinese benefits. I was just starting out as a high school coach. Here he got it.
Sterling Sharp. And that's out to the 43-yard line. Flag is down.
I think they called a personal foul on Harold Green. A little frustrated, trying a little too hard.
Clipping call.
Sterling Sharp in the slot will come in motion. Now he'll end up all the way across the field and right next to the sideline. Then he comes up, sits down, and just waits. There he is. He comes a little delay, lets the zone deepen. Then look at that stutter step. Boy, he can make you miss.
And you saw the clip at the top of the screen. Harold Green was a little late getting there. So the penalty against South Carolina. Well, we've got basketball for you early Saturday afternoon, and then the season premiere of Sports Saturday. NABF middleweight championship fight, Michael Nunn against Kevin Watts. NFL playoff preview and the College Bowl review. All of that at 4:30 Eastern Time on CBS. 1st and 10, South Carolina. They operate from the 28-yard line, trailing 30-13. Ellis fires it too high, incomplete.
You know, the LSU technique of jamming the receivers on the line of scrimmage has really been effective in throwing the timing off. There's Hodson talking to the coordinator, or maybe you're talking to his girlfriend. Look at that smile on his face.
He could be. Yeah. He's out of Matthews, Louisiana, in the southeastern part of the state, in central Lafourche Parish.
I know it.
And he is about as Cajun gets.
One of the coaches told me when he first got here, he went in a huddle, no one could understand him. And one time in practice, he got hit up underneath the chin, cut his tongue, and from then on, they could understand him.
2nd and 10. Todd Ellis. Ryan Buffet. 1st down. South Carolina out to the 47-yard line. Nicky Hazard made the tackle, number 48.
Real nice job by the quarterback. Now watch as he drops looking left and then pivots and comes back. He does that to try to prevent the linebackers from getting underneath this curl pattern. Watch the quarterback. Normally you would drop over your right shoulder if you're a right-handed quarterback, but he's right-handed. Now he turns back. See, that stops the linebackers from getting out underneath there properly. Or at least it helps it run.
Ellis pulls up, pumps once, scrambles. Nice little move.
Nice job.
Down to the 45-yard line.
Geez, you can imagine this kid has 2 more years of playing football. In fact, both of these quarterbacks.
6:12 to go, 30-13. LSU trying to hold a 4-game drought in bowl games. They haven't won since '79. South Carolina looks like they might still be searching. They have never won a bowl game. They finished 0-6. Or rather, they come in 0-6. And they trail by 17 right now. 2nd down and 2. Bobbled snap. Ellis pulls up and fires it out. Caught. Sterling Sharp in the 32.
Real interesting right there. Now, Sterling Sharp was over in the slot. He was in the slot, Vern. He's right here, and I don't know if you can see it, but he has both hands up right now, and he's telling the receivers what pattern to run because he recognizes man-to-man coverage. Now, watch him go in there, see the man-to-man. Now he just breaks out on the one-on-one coverage and gets the ball, and reverse pivots, comes back around, does a nice job of making the nose guard miss, and upfield for the 1st down.
Ellis back to throw again. Battling the clock and scores. Oh! And what a pop at the 5-yard line. Kevin White was really belted.
Hello!
White's up, the defender's not. It's Chris Carrier, number 11.
And he's a big safety, and here the ball is now. He's just trying to reach for it, and he can't pull off like that. And wham! And they both go down. It looks like they hit helmets.
Helmets, exactly.
6'4", 208 pounds.
Carrier still down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, there was a real collision there. Wow. You could hear that up here. He'll be all right.
They will tend to Chris Carrier, and while they do, time has been called. We'll be right back. 5:17 remaining in the ball game, and Chris Carrier being assisted off the field after he hit helmets with Kevin White. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
He's going to have a headache. I promise you he's going to have a headache.
30-13 as LSU leads it. And Vern Lundquist along with Dick Vermeil. First Gator Bowl, been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun for me. I've enjoyed the football played by both sides. If it weren't for the early turnovers by LSU in that 14-point spot right there, we'd have a 3-point spread.
And right now we've got a 17-point spread. South Carolina does have the ball, 2nd down and 10. Ellis back, 3-man rush now. LSU sending everybody beat. Harold Green out of the backfield.
Boy, is he a good player. Is he a good player?
Just short of the 1st down, it would appear.
He's a big back at 212 pounds. Here he is swinging out the backfield. You'll see him lined up in the middle of the screen. Now watch him swing out, and Vern realized this as he swings out. He broke Rogers' single-season touchdown record. Here he is, a sophomore. He gives Eric Hill a little juke move, and then Kevin Guidry, 27, comes up and makes the play. He's a dandy.
Well, they measure, and he came up just short of the 1st down. 7 receptions now to the backfield, and he did score a touchdown. That gives him 15 on the year rushing.
He ran for 2,200 yards his senior year in high school. He was back of the year in the state, 30 touchdowns. Similar to the stats. What was that running back's name at the luncheon yesterday? Wendell?
Willie McClendon.
Willie McClendon.
Folks around the country, you can't believe this kid. 80-some touchdowns and 7,000 yards.
In 3 years of high school.
Playing in the top division before the high school. There were coaches all over him yesterday at the Gator Bowl luncheon. Willie McClendon.
Remember that name.
Here's a reverse, Ryan Bethea. That's a 1st down. And he is finally stopped at the 15-yard line. Bethea, the junior out of Columbia, South Carolina.
Now here's the option pitch, Vern. But they don't pitch it to the trailback, they pitch it to the reverse man. Here it is now. You'll notice he'll go in and make the fake. Quarterback will come out, and instead of pitching at this guy, he pitches it right back coming the other way, if you can make that out. We won't have time to show that right now. Get on with it.
1st down at the 15, 4:28 to go in the ball game, and a 17-point deficit facing South Carolina. Again, the 3-man rush. Ellis in the end zone, picked off, and here comes the return.
Greg Jackson.
Interception of the day, and a 43-yard return for Jackson.
35 from the bottom middle of your screen, Greg Jackson. Now see him just dropping back in there, eyeballing into the zone. He fires it down the hole, Todd does. You know the remarkable thing on this, you know who makes the play, the defensive play, pushing him out of bounds? The quarterback who threw the interception. That way, Todd, that's the way. You know, there are a lot of quarterbacks that never make a tackle when they throw the interception.
I've noticed. Like kickers. 1st down, LSU. That should do it. 4:15 to go, and they lead it by 30 to 13.
Oh, fumble.
Well,
that's the 3rd fumble today at the exchange.
And again, just to make the point, Dick, and not to be redundant, but Nacho Albergamo, the All-American center, is not in the game because of an injury. Tom Hudson has had quite an afternoon. He and Wendell Davis. They have paired up for 3 touchdowns. Chris Carrier, of course, injured in that collision. Let's go down to James Brown and check on it.
All right, Vern, indeed, Chris said that the hit really jarred him considerably. He was very weak. Also, he's had a case of the flu all week, so that made him even weaker. He said he won't be back, and the only thing he's frustrated about is that Greg Jackson just stole his interception. Let's go back up to Vern.
Okay, JB.
Okay.
There's Sam Martin trying to get to the outside.
Good job of defense of shutting that off, because the last 2 times they've run that play, they've made real good gains, 10, 12 yards. This time the defense tightens up and shuts it down.
Greg Philpott makes the tackle. So LSU will become a 10-game winner and probably wind up in the top 5, I would think. They got a good chance at it. South Carolina will wind up 8-4, and they lose their last 2 games of the year. There's Chris Carrier on the sideline. Looks like he's going to be fine. He's a gregarious young man.
Yeah, he really is. I had a nice visit with him yesterday. He smiles easily.
Fun to be around. 3rd and 11. And a delay of game call, I believe.
The ball game is over. Do not, please, do not attempt to go on the field.
10, 1, and 1. Oh, that's it. I think the guys from West Point. Quite as happy as seen on the South Carolina sideline.
No.
Do not is never. go through one of the gates or over the fence.
There is Derek Frazier, who suffered that knee injury earlier in this quarter.
The fact that he walked off with help is a positive sign. When it's really bad, boy, I'll tell you, they pack you up.
3rd and 16. 2:50 to go in the ball game. And Hodson back. Chased by Shed Biggs. Gets the ball short of the first down. Tony Moss makes the catch, but he's out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Coming up tonight on CBS, Bugs Bunny's Mad World of Television, followed by The Romance of Betty Boop. And the CBS special movie, Barnum. Looks like a night tailor-made for you and me.
Yeah.
To heck with the flight home. I'm going to stay at the airport and watch it all. That's tonight on CBS. Especially that Romance of Betty Boop.
Yeah.
4th down. And Matt DeFrank did come on. Sterling Sharp is back to returning. Time has been called by LSU. We've got 2:43 to go. 2:43 remaining in the ball game. 4th down, and LSU's Matt DeFrank. He's on to punt it deep to Sterling Sharp, who waits at the 15-yard line. 30-13 with 2:40 remaining in the ball game. High punt, fair catch.
He does really get it up in there, make it tough for you to get any room to get the punt return started.
Yeah, that 9 returns in 12 games, really an amazing stat against the LSU special teams. Let's go down to James Brown one more time before we're through for the afternoon. JB?
All right, Vern, and the players on both teams will have more than just a memory of this game to remember this by. They will also get $300 worth of gifts each school is allowed to spend. A warm-up jacket, hat, warm-up outfit, shirt, sneakers, practice jersey, another nice sweater, and Vern, my favorite, a watch. As a matter of fact, I think I'll keep this one. Vern, back up to you.
Somehow I knew that was coming. Ellis is sacked again.
Clint James.
JB's operating under the theory of what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
Yeah.
That is the 7th sack of the day officially. There was 1 sack that we gave the LSU defense, but it didn't count because that's when Todd Ellis slipped and fell. 2:10 remaining in the ball game. And another player slips and falls.
Oh, he had a hole there you could have driven a truck through. That's too bad he slipped on that one.
That was Keith Bing. Final
Keith Bing would have popped it.
1:55 to go. South Carolina Gamecocks will finish 8-4 for the year, and the Louisiana State University Tigers 10-1-1. The only loss, Alabama. Ellis, Ryan Bethea.
You know, an interesting point here. A lot of the jamming techniques that they're using in the secondary, LSU secondary, you know, you can't do that in the NFL after they pass 5 yards. That time they jammed the guy about 7 yards downfield before the ball was thrown. You cannot do that in the NFL. The offense may be a little more effective.
Many of the crowd of 82,000 have filtered out. And as the names roll by, this is the group that's been together much of the year. And Dick and I working together for the first time. Been a lot of fun crossing over from the NCAA football to the NFL and back.
It is a lot of fun.
That pass incomplete.
Games like this and players like this and coaching staffs and schools and organizations are what make college football and college athletics a tremendously great educational experience for these young guys.
Take a look at the credits on the top. You think we're not family at CBS? Barbara Drago and Barry Drago, the former Barbara Ancona. They were married December 20th. Congratulations, Barry and Barbara. 1:32 to go.
Disappointment, but these kids can be really proud. Because as we said in the opening, they didn't expect to go to a bowl game. They've earned the right by being well coached, playing hard all season, win 8 football games, and get here. They should walk off with their heads up.
Well, they come off a 3-6-2 year, and they wind up 8-4.
You bet. And they'll be good next year. Todd Ellis back. Harold Green back. They'll be a good football team.
That handoff up the middle. Carl Jones.
And Joe Morris will be back for 4 more years. Now they might have a new president if he doesn't get his contract, right?
Joe Morrison's contract extended through 1992. That announcement was made yesterday. Timeout called with 1:17 remaining.
Oh,
Mike Archer,
Wendell
interesting
Davis.
story. There's Wendell Davis for the afternoon.
He's done a heck of a job.
9 catches for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I want to go in the NFL where they put it up, he says. San Francisco, maybe tested early at Tampa Bay or even Kelly and Buffalo.
Well, Sharp told you that. Davis told me he wanted to go to Dallas.
That's right. That's right. Dallas. It was Dallas. I got him mixed up.
Yeah.
Thank you for straightening that out. I don't want them all going to the same place.
Wants to go to the Cowboys. Well, time now for the Mazda most valuable players of the game. Wendell Davis is our choice for LSU, and along with Tommy Hudson, we didn't get his picture in there, but they combined for 3 touchdowns and 9 catches for Wendell Davis. Tom Hudson for the afternoon, 20 of 32 for 224 yards. And Harold Green, who got his 15th touchdown of the season for South Carolina today. And Green winds up with 7 catches and 15 carries for 72 yards. A check in the amount of $1,000 donated by Mazda to each school's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Mentioned the family at CBS. Barbara Drago right behind that camera. Barbara, no, stick your head out so we can see how pretty you are. There you go. And the lucky bridegroom, Barry Drago, married December 20th. Congratulations, guys.
Boy, I know that feeling. When you don't think this game means something to a young man, just read the expression in his face. He cares. They'll be back in a bowl game next year.
Winning makes New Year's Eve a little more enjoyable, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. There's Chris Carrier again. Hey! Look at that haircut on 96. You see that haircut?
Tommy Clapp.
Tommy Clapp. Boy, that hurts. When you don't think young people care, that shot right there just tells it all. They take great pride in their performance in their school and the football team and their teammates, and it hurts.
3rd down now, 3rd and 10, 1:06 remaining in the ball game, and South Carolina can stop it one more time.
Uh-oh.
That's Leonard Valentine, the backup quarterback, who has replaced Tom Hudson. And a final minute of play. It'll be 4th down.
They all know that end zone stomp, don't they?
Tom Fabriker, number 21. And the clock stopped on 4th down now, 4th and 3.
My mommy says, look at these.
We had 82,119. Many of them have gone to the automobiles, which might delay
You may not
getting
make
out of
our
here.
flight. Wouldn't this be a great place to have a program?
There's the hairdo. You like it?
Look at that.
Tommy Clapp is going into professional wrestling when his collegiate days are over.
Oh, I don't believe it.
No, I don't know that. It just looked like he was getting ready.
Oh, no.
Fumble in the backfield. 4th down, and South Carolina will take over with 52 seconds remaining.
Tommy Clapp was one of the co-captains of the defensive football team.
Mike Archer, State College, Pennsylvania. You think he might have gone to Penn State, but he told you he decided he wanted to leave home.
He said his father passed away when he was a youngster, and therefore he grew up a little more independent in his thinking. There were 600 kids in his graduating class. 40 of them went on to college. 36 of them returned to State College, Pennsylvania. He's one of the 4 that did not go back. He went to Miami out of high school and stayed away. He likes to go up there all the time and visit, but not during the winter.
was a defensive back at the University of Miami, then an assistant coach there before joining Bill Arnsparger.
Oh, nice.
And that pass incomplete. Intended for Kevin White over the middle.
The only thing about getting a head coaching job so early, like at 33 years old, after you coach 12 years, you're only 45 years old, and you could be tired of what you're doing for a living. You know, you take that chance.
Do you speak from experience?
Yeah, I speak from experience.
I mean, you were 47 when you said that's enough.
I know it, but I didn't get the job quite as soon as he did. But you know, normally you get your job at 45, you coach 10, you're 55, 57. A normal time to start getting tired of your job. You know? That's not to say it'll happen, but get a job that early, it could.
Ellis completes the pass to the left side. Greg Welch, backup running back, number 49, but he can't get out of bounds, and the final 30 seconds to go.
Ellis passing to Welch.
What's that last play, Mike Archer?
He still wants him to be successful. Look at that gum.
3rd down and 12. 14 seconds to go. Could be the final play, unless it's an incomplete pass or picked off. Dropped.
Here is a lost child announcement.
Jamie Bice had a chance for the interception, number 40.
D-A-E-R. Your child is in good hands.
And Archer still coaching.
Please drop by there and pick him up.
No substitute for enthusiasm.
I tell you, they will never call him placid.
No. They'll call him some other things over the years, I promise you that. Coaches
Among
are
them successful.
Yes, very successful.
4th down and 12. 7 seconds to go.
He got it.
Todd Ellis completes the final pass of the game. Good to Danny Smith. And Mike Archer wins the Gator Bowl in his first full season as a head coach.
Boy, is that ever a fun ride.
50-year-old Joe Morrison and 34-year-old Mike Archer. South Carolina winds up 8-4, and LSU 10-1-1 with a 17-point victory. Let's quickly go down to James Brown.
All right, and I'm with Coach Mike Archer. And, Coach, your guys said that they use as incentive coming into the game. You guys are ranked ahead of Carolina, but yet they were favored coming into the game.
Well, that's true. We were very aware of it. We made mention about the whole preparation. And, you know, we heard so much about their defense and the black defense, and there was never any mention about our defense. And I think we had 4 or 5 turnovers, and, you know, there was so much said about them and not us, and we were ranked ahead of us. And so we kind of did it silently, but I think our players play with great emotion, and it's a credit to our coaches and our players that won 10 games for the first time since 1961.
What in the world was it about your defense that was so smothering and suffocating today?
Well, we try to put as much pressure as we could. We try to mix the coverages and blitz once in a while and try and disguise the coverages and give Todd Ellis different looks, and I thought successful on it. We got good heat, and you know, our kids just play awfully hard.
Your first bowl victory. Congratulations, Coach Mike Archer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Dick and Vern Lundquist.
All right, JB. Final score, 30-13. LSU defeats South Carolina in the Mazda Gator Bowl. Don't forget, tomorrow it's the 52nd annual Cotton Bowl Classic as the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on the Texas A&M Aggies at 1:30 Eastern Time. The 43rd Mazda Gator Bowl Classic has been a presentation of CBS Sports.